You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 72 with Zoepancakes. How you doing today, Zoe?
I'm just swell. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And it's a pleasure to finally get you on. I know you've I see you as a relatively new Twitch streamer.
I am, yeah.
But like, what is relative at this point? I'm just like, is it 2 years, 3 years? Is that still considered? Because I still consider myself new, but now I'm like, I've been streaming for 3.5 years, so I'm like kind of like a boomer now. So how long have you been streaming for?
I've been streaming for 1.5 years now. It feels like it's been a lot longer, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's like different phases of Twitch streamers. You know what I mean? There's like, you have the OG, they're their own thing. And then you have the people that started like 4 or 5 years ago. And then you have the people that started around when you did. And I feel like everybody kind of like clumps up into these little categories.
It is really strange that works that way, because it's totally true. I see Foe, Curtis, Bodhi.
Right.
Those are all like these super OGs. And then you got like Hey Jace, Rig, Zulu. Those are kind of like the 5-year Andes, you know? And then, like now I'm in my own category. I'm like me. Oh God. There's a lot of people actually in my category because I grew up with them. Started streaming with them. There's a ton of them. But yeah, then I see you. Q-Neeks. I know Q-Neeks has been streaming for a long time, but it still feels...
Well, he streamed Wizard 101, so I don't know if it counted, but
the fact
that relatively recently.
The fact that he streamed Wizard 101 is just so perfect. Like, that is literally Q-Neeks. Like that.
Yeah, this like long curly hair and like the most unflattering camera angle you've ever seen in your life. It's the cutest thing ever.
Wait, are there like saved VODs that I can rewatch? Like...
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. I'll send it to you. He has a vlog. It's really, really good.
I need to see that. Has he changed much? I can't actually see him having changed.
I mean, in terms of personality, I don't think he's changed that much. He's just like gotten older and maybe a little bit more jaded, but still very much the same guy.
Yeah. We got some questions about him in the Twitter topics, I noticed, so that'll be fun. Yeah, it is really weird that they just kind of clump up. And then, watch. You still think you're the new streamer, you're in the new generation. Just wait, like all of a sudden there's going to be a new generation and you're going to start feeling like how I feel, where you're kind of like a boomer. It's strange.
I think I'm already feeling that way a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll give it another year or so and then I'll really feel that way, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I know there's probably some listeners that don't know who you are, haven't checked out your stream yet. So if you'll just introduce yourself, a little bit about you, that'd be nice.
Of course. Yeah. Hello, I'm Zoepancakes. I would say that people probably know me as a personality streamer, but it's not really what I strive for. Personality is just kind of like there. I'm mainly focusing right now on getting good at the game. That's like kind of what my stream revolves around. And yeah, I'm like getting into end game content and I make some YouTube videos here and there. I hope to make more in the future, but that's pretty much it.
Very cool. Yeah, I love seeing people test their limits, I guess, in the game. Kind of. And I've seen it with Nick as well. He's been doing a lot of like Gauntlet and he's been testing things. Because I saw when I first watched Q-Neeks, I was like, this is like the epitome of just a noob. Just total noob. Like, has no idea. He died to a woman NPC.
Yeah, that's the best. I love when he died to a woman.
Yeah. So
that's one of my favorite clips of all time.
It's so bad.
And then of course the dying to Darroch.
It looks...
And the clip where he goes, I will not be dying at Barrows. You can clip it right now. And then just stitching it with him dying to Darroch.
Dude, watching that woman clip, it looks staged. And then you see his reaction and you're like, holy shit, was this not staged? Like, was this actually just you dying?
No, it was real. What was the other one too? Hold on, let me go in his chat. He has exclamation point, death 1, death 2, death 3, death 4. Death 2, I think, what was it? Death 1 was... Hold on. Why aren't they coming up? I feel like he died... Wait, this is... Number 2 is the woman. Okay. Number 2 is the woman. Number 3 is Darroch.
Okay. What
Yeah.
was the
Number
first one?
4, I don't know. Death one isn't coming up in the chat. Wait, oh, maybe it's just Death. Hold on. Oh, I can send it to you. He's dying at the what is it called? The Elder, what are they
Elder
called?
Chaos Druids?
Yeah, the ones in the wilderness.
Oh, I think. Yep, I remember this.
I just sent you the clip.
I'm just gonna briefly
To
show
talk
this.
to somebody.
Yeah,
Oh
please.
no, I can't. There's music.
Oh man.
He didn't split it. Can't do
Bad
it.
days. Well, it's probably DMCA free if.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, fair.
All of the whole Mofo cast, he shared one clip and the entire thing got demonetized. And then I tried to
Really?
like mute that part, and I was like, do I really want to mute? It was like for some reason it was trying to get me to mute 2 minutes of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's so upsetting.
So it's whatever. The ad revenue from these is just puny. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Q-Neeks, you could just tell that hits him really hard when he dies. Like,
Yeah.
I feel bad for
I'm
him.
glad he's moved on.
Me too. I'm glad he can just enjoy normal Iron. I'm glad he's also seeing stream growth. Because, like, honestly, one of the worst things is switching up your content, going from a hardcore to something else, and feeling very nervous about the whole switch, and then
Yeah.
seeing a drop in viewership. Because that's I don't know. It feels like it stacks on and it makes you like sad. That's like, fuck. Do
Definitely.
I remake?
I killed a hardcore once. Bad
Really?
times. Well, no, but when Group Iron came out, I have my most viewed clip ever is of me dying to the troll in Troll Stronghold.
Wait, but you didn't kill a hardcore Iron Man.
Well, it was a hardcore Group Iron, so I lost
Oh.
a life.
Oh, so you lost a life. I thought you
Yeah.
like PK'd a hardcore Iron Man.
Oh, no.
I was like, that's
I
badass.
killed my own
Oh, I
Group
see, I
Iron.
see.
I was the first life gone.
I see.
You really hate to see it.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
think the hardcore meta's done?
okay, so we had this conversation because Bodhi is going back to his main. Who knows how long that'll last? Because of course, if you just stop playing this game for a month and you've always enjoyed this game, you're gonna come back and have a thirst for it, and anything's gonna
Right.
sound great. So in Bodhi's situation, just coming back to the game with any mode would have sounded fantastic, and him coming back to the main and getting really pumped about it. Who knows how long that lasts for? But he is a big influencer, so if he starts doing main stuff, maybe hardcore meta and stuff like that will kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
think?
I see a lot of people doing completionist stuff for a long time and really enjoying it. Like Shelby is the first person that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like there's no real, other than Group Iron, obviously, which I think the majority of people are kind of over, other than watching, Foe and the farmers.
Yeah, the farmers.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen too many hardcores at the top right now.
That's really true. Yeah, it's definitely not as prevalent as it was.
I think you can only die to like a DC or servers so many times. It's also probably because the servers are so horrible right now that anybody with a hardcore is smart enough not to play it. But when will they ever be good?
Exactly. Yeah, we've been waiting 9
Yeah.
years. Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't really seen that much of an influx of hardcores. I have seen an influx of tile men, however.
Yep.
A bunch of tile men running around.
I have seen that as well.
I really wonder. I was honestly surprised that Tile Man popped off. I keep seeing tweets of Settled, and his videos are popping the fuck off. I mean,
Yeah, I'm surprised.
yeah.
I think, well, as somebody who consumes a lot of YouTube content, I think that YouTube is especially stale right now. So I think that Settled could probably shit on the ground and it would still get a million views,
Yeah.
But it is actually a really good series, and I think that it's interesting and unique. And he wasn't the first to do it, but he is doing it the biggest. So I understand why it's getting so highly trafficked. But yeah, my only issue with the YouTube metas like that is I feel like it comes to a point where people see that it works for somebody, and then
Everyone
you
tries
see
it.
a lot of everyone tries it, and it just doesn't feel authentic, and then it kind of just devalues the whole thing. But There's some people that are doing it that I find really interesting, and I think they're doing it well. But some of them, I'm like, all right, we can stop pickpocketing a woman for 20 minutes in a video now, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I also have to talk about Torvesta, but just to finish off a subtle thing, it must be the greatest feeling in the world to start a series and then have the next episode and the one after progressively do better views wise. That has got to feel
rare.
so good. Yeah.
That's really rare.
Very rare. I can't even imagine how that feels, because I remember doing I was trying to do a Leagues series, and I was going to be uploading a video every day. Just whatever
That's
I do
so
in
harsh.
that. And yeah, like my first video, I mean, I'm a small YouTuber, so my first video got like 2K views. I was like, okay, that's decent. Then the next one got like 1,200. I'm like, oh God, like this is already going downhill quick. And then it just demotivates you. But if you were to, see some growth, it just stacks and you just start getting more hype about it and you start getting more invested in the series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Torvesta, however, his series, have you seen it?
The hardcore one right
Yeah.
now? So good.
It is so well done. It is like masterful.
Yeah, everything he does is absolutely perfect. He was like one of the first. I've been watching Torvesta since I was in like, I don't know, I think like 10th grade or something.
Damn.
And I've been a huge fan of him forever. And it's just like gotten so much better and better and better and better as the years have gone on.
Yeah, which is so cool because he doesn't need to do that. He would still pull great views, have a really successful YouTube career if he just made his little PK videos here and there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I know him for. And
What's funny about sorry.
No, you're good.
What's funny about Torvesta is that I can like actually attribute so much of my like growth and success on Twitch directly to him.
Really?
Which is very strange in retrospect. Yeah, he made a video called what is it? Like trolling RuneScape streamers. And I'm on the thumbnail.
Oh.
And when he made that video, I'd only been streaming for like a month. And after he posted that video, I think I got like 600 followers from
Jesus.
Yeah, I started at like 400 something and immediately I like hit 1K just because he posted that one video.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I still have people that come in. This was December 2020, and people still come in and say, "Hey, I saw you in that Torvesta video." What?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so weird.
See, that's like a really cool thing. That was something when I started streaming. I remember thinking if I ever got bigger as a content creator, I would want to show love to the little guys because I was
Absolutely.
there,
Absolutely.
And the impact you have on smaller creators is so massive. And just being Torvesta, I mean, if you ask anybody in the game basically who Torvesta is, everyone would know, They'd be like, yeah, I know who Torvesta is. So that kind of power to just be able to really help a smaller creator out, even though you don't even see it that way. You just do it, and it just is a huge help. That's what Will did for me. I mean, it's Will probably doesn't even know because he's just so big now. I just barely even go into stream, and I can barely even like say anything except for like a sub message. But he seriously helped me out so much starting out, and he doesn't even know it.
What do you do for you?
Just raided me. Just would send me a raid, and then a few hundred people would come over. And Will raids are stacked. I mean, you'll see like multiple penises and the ASCII penises and stuff. And
but it's better than nothing.
yeah. I mean, but you get so much interaction, and so not only is it just more followers, it's like you exponentially get more entertaining because you just have so much going on.
Right. Isn't it the worst when you get a raid with like so many people and nobody chats?
Dead silent, yeah.
Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. I hate it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like, wait, what's going on here? Was this a raid or it's
what
strange.
are we doing?
And it's really strange when you like get super into it. You're like, welcome everybody, and it's just like crickets. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And like your own chat dies as well. You're like, cool. Anyways, I'm gonna kill the boss now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you noticed? Okay, so you've been streaming for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
What have you noticed as a streamer with a small chat versus a large chat? Like, how does it feel when you have like 30 people versus 200 people?
There's definitely ups and downs to both. I feel like when I first started streaming and my chat would die, when I first started streaming, I was streaming Leagues last league's, what was that, Trailblazers, and I was really bad at the game. Like, I remember my first stream ever, I did murder mystery on leagues, and it took me probably 2 hours because I just like did not know how to like do a quest, and I also did not know how to read the chat, and the whole thing was so overwhelming. But after that, like the few weeks after that, I think I was just working on my quest cape or something, and I remember there would be times where the chat would just completely die for like 20 minutes. And I was so insecure that I was like, there's no way that I can keep streaming. Like, I have to end the stream. I also would like drink, not a lot, but I would need like a drink or two just to make it through and not be completely in my head. Like, it was really, really a stressful time. And then as time went on, and my chat got more active, it got a lot easier. But then on the flip side, like when your chat dies and you have a lot of people there, you're like, oh no, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. I think I've gotten over like all these insecurities since, but I also have a more active chat now, so I don't know.
Yeah. And I feel like they never really leave those kind of insecurities, because I still feel the same way. I mean, you know, you'll be doing a certain piece of content, and I am one of those streamers that like has endless progress to my account. And so sometimes I'm on these grinds for months. And it's just like, sometimes I'm in my own head, like, I have been doing this for so fucking long. Nobody's enjoying it at this point. And then like the chat dies, then I'm in my head. I'm like, even though I have like maybe 150 people and nobody's talking, it feels as though if I don't start artificially saying things right now, everyone's going to leave. But then they don't. And I'm like, oh, maybe it is fine to just be quiet for a second or two.
I know, but it's so like, I don't think it's stressful anymore now, especially since I've done Inferno. Like, I'm totally fine being quiet for a few minutes if I need to, but at first it was like the hardest thing. But yeah, on the flip side of that too, like now that I have a more active chat, some days it's really great, and some days, like, you know, we have great conversation. I want to talk about everything. I feel like things are flowing here and there. Sometimes I feel like I can't even keep up with the conversation. Yeah. And then sometimes the chat is just full of like the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. No offense, like not my regulars, obviously, but sometimes, like, no offense to anybody, but like sometimes if I get a raid from like another female streamer, like I will just get can I say the I word on here?
The I word?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's banned on Twitch. Yeah, well, I just get the worst fucking incels I've ever met in my entire life. Just like making me like hate. Like sometimes I forget that I'm a female who streams, and then sometimes I remember. And when I remember, oh, I really remember. And yeah, it's just there's like, you know, there's always going to be pluses and minuses to everything.
I see you as a very confident woman, and you're just very bubbly. You're just fucking awesome. Like, I just go into your stream and you're just killing it. Like, it just feels like you know who you are. Everything's good, but you're still a woman on Twitch. And I was talking to Nicole last week, and we were just talking about it and like the shit that you guys deal with. So what have you noticed, I guess, just being a woman on Twitch? I guess we'll kind of go into it a little bit.
Well, I feel very, very blessed that I have like actually a phenomenal community. And I feel like for the most part, I've gotten to the point where if somebody comes in and like, you know, does the typical like talk down to, or, oh my God, baby girl, you're so sexy, like whatever, anything like that. Like my chat will just shut them down immediately. Like, I think you know me, and I consider myself to be a pretty nice person generally, but if somebody disrespects me, then I have no issue being a complete monster to them. Yeah. And I think my chat backs me up on that because they know the way I operate. So, you know, my regulars will always have my back and sometimes instigate the bullying towards the people that are being really horrible towards me. But yeah, some days there's just like no escaping it, especially in Inferno. You know, it's just gonna be that way. There's just always gonna be somebody who thinks they're better than you. There's always gonna be a Justy Caper who, you know, tells you to whatever. It's just the way it's gonna be. But I really am happy that most of the time I don't really think about my gender. But yeah, it almost makes it more painful when it does happen that my chat turns into a female streamer's chat, that I am kind of like, and I don't want to, I just also have to like rephrase that by saying like, I don't mean this as like I'm better than other girls because like I don't have a chat like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that I've worked really hard to make my stream a place where that kind of stuff doesn't slide.
Yes.
And something that I talk to, like we have a girls Discord, and something that I've talked to a lot with the other girls about is like a lot of people are scared to ban people because their communities are maybe smaller, and they're worried that that one less number might have some sort of like negative impact on their growth. But what I've definitely learned is if anybody vibes are off, if anybody bothers you, just get rid of them, because like my community has grown so much more now that I've gotten rid of the people that made other people afraid to type because they were making other people uncomfortable. And that is just like, that is really invaluable.
Yeah. And I think like for the short term, yeah, potentially you might lose a couple numbers by banning the people that are toxic, but long term
it's just for like a few days. Yeah.
It's so much better for you and just your mental.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little strange. I mean, even guys deal with it. Like I've dealt with it personally of just, you ban somebody that was being weird and then they start making alts and start typing racist shit and then start trying to dox you and shit like that. Like that personally has happened to me. And
yeah, you have to walk a really fine line with those people.
Exactly. And I'm glad honestly, Twitch does a lot of things that are stupid, but they have done pretty good recently with some things. Like for example,
the suspected suspicious user or whatever, that's really, really nice.
And I didn't even realize this. Apparently, if you ban a person and then on their same IP they create an alt and you ban that one,
they're also banned.
They are like IP banned from your stream, basically. Like they can't make another alt and go into your stream unless maybe they use a VPN. I don't know how all that works.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it is pretty easy to get around having a different IP address, but yeah, I mean, they try their best. There's only so much you can do, obviously, without, like, from the perspective of a computer. I think they do a pretty good job, but it's just unfortunate that the internet's a scary place. It's just the way it's always going to be.
Yeah. No, it's definitely true.
Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about your RuneScape history for a bit.
Please.
So, did you start playing RuneScape as a kid, or?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I was in like 3rd grade, I had these 4 best friends, and we all would play games together. We played other stuff too, like MapleStory, and like I played like a lot of Final Fantasy, like Halo and things like that with them. Adventure Quest, obviously.
Did you ever play Club Penguin?
Of course, but like my friends were like gamers. Like they didn't really do the chat room kind of games. Like they didn't really do the Habbo. They didn't really do the Club Penguin, the Neopets. I did that on my own time with like some of my other friends, but like my core group of like really intense hardcore gamer friends didn't really do that. But yeah, I started playing with them, and we would have sleepovers. We would sometimes on the weekend we would stay up till like 10 o'clock on our laptops playing RuneScape. How crazy is that?
10 p.m.
And, yeah. 10 p.m. We were wild. We were actually insane.
Yeah.
And I'm actually still in a Discord with them. Like we all keep in touch. All my friends from elementary school. Yeah, they're really, really great. But one of my best friends, Drew, he gave me one of his old accounts. I had an account like starting up, but I never really got very far on it. But he had somebody that could like wear rune armor. So my first ever RuneScape account was named X Reaper Elite X. And
lowercase or uppercase X's? That's the real question.
Lowercase X 3 L 1 T 3 or wait R 3 A P 3 R 3 L 1 T 3 X.
That is such a ballin' out name, I guess. Yeah, that's sick.
Honestly sick. Like I might bring it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first account, and I played all throughout elementary school. And then I think in 5th grade, like one of my friends logged into my account. I think it was the one that gave me the account and took like 100K from me. And my mom called his mom and he got grounded. And I cried. And yeah, it was pretty dramatic. I think I just stopped playing when I like went to middle school. I had a phase of being like way too cool for everybody, way too cool for video games, like really wanting to be like this like really super popular girl all throughout like middle school and kind of going into like the beginning of high school. So I stopped playing then. But then senior year, I was dating this guy, and well, we hadn't started dating yet, but we started talking. And like the first time I went over to his house, he was AFK fishing on his computer, and I was like, I love RuneScape. Like I used to play that all the time as a kid. And then we had just started talking about RuneScape, and then I made another account with him. And about then is where I got the name Rakes, because he was like a super OG name kind of person. So I just started like typing in a bunch of like OG sort of usernames, and yeah, that's where I got this one. But yeah, and then I kind of stopped playing in college just because I was so busy, but all the time I would just be watching like the Torvesta videos and the frame videos and just keeping up with it in that way. And then when the pandemic hit, I got really bored and I logged back in. And yeah, here we are.
Rest is history.
Rest is history.
So what got you into Twitch? Were you watching Twitch? Because you said you're a YouTube consumer.
Yeah.
Did you watch Twitch as well?
No, and I don't know how I started streaming. Like people ask me this all the time, and I wish I knew the answer. Like there is just somehow I had an aneurysm in between. So okay, so like the pandemic started like March 2019, right?
Yeah.
In October 2019, I built a PC.
Oh wow.
In November, I started. Wait, no, it was wait. The years don't make sense anymore.
It was 2020. March 2020, I think was COVID.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I was gonna say 19. That's like too early. But yeah.
Yeah,
They all
right,
kind of
right.
blend in, but yeah.
I know they really do. But I graduated college in 2019, and there was not a pandemic, so I should have known that. But yeah, okay, 2020 pandemic happened. March, October built a computer. November started streaming. I don't know. I swear, if you look at the day I made my account, it's like October 12th, 2020 on Twitch. Like I never watched Twitch beforehand. My best guess is that I joined a clan randomly just because like someone in game started talking to me, and I joined this clan, and I think people would share Twitch clips a lot in our Discord. And then I think what it was like one day somebody showed me Flutton stream, and I was like, oh, this girl's like kind of like me. Like I could do this. But yeah, I didn't really know how to start, so I just started with leagues. And yeah, but I never really watched Twitch before. I'd only seen clips. I think I started watching Behemoth too, and maybe I was like, oh, like this doesn't look like it's that hard. I could try this. I was just really bored.
Yeah.
I was just really bored. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I never really watched before I started.
It's interesting asking people kind of like how they started streaming, because everyone's story is a little bit different and stuff. And I mean, I don't think anyone ever expects to get big when you first stream,
No.
but I think what a lot of people feel, at least I felt, is you would just watch streamers and you're like, I could do this. And you come to that
Yeah.
realization like, oh, these are just normal people. They're not just like born to be streamers. They just decided to start streaming and they made it something.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think the reason that I started streaming is because like I just wanted to sit at home and play RuneScape all day. And at the time I was in a pretty toxic relationship, and I kind of wanted like any way to escape from it. And I remember thinking like, oh, if I lock myself in my room for 5 hours, then he can't talk to me. Like this is perfect. I get my time alone. Like this is such a good way to escape. So for me, I think it was just a form of like just getting away completely and
Damn.
having that privacy, and it felt like the only way. It felt like the best option at the time. It just felt like it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about the toxic
Oh, it's fine.
relationship, but
I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't like horrible. It's just, pandemic does things to people's
Yeah.
mental health.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like just over like a couple years, who knows, maybe this is just me thinking it, but I felt like the internet became like twice as ruthless over like a 2-year span. I know since the internet's inception of like just everyone going on the internet, it just felt like a really polite place. Like everyone was kind of still living in the 90s sort of. Everyone was just nice to each other. That's
Yeah, you like
again,
write out a full
helpful.
message on a chat
Yeah.
forum, it's like,
Yeah, and everybody's helpful and it's all new. And yeah, now it's just a fucking shit show where like people are born into the internet life and that's their life now. And it's
true.
crazy.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we were born, like around when we were born, because we got to see life without internet and life with it. It's
Oh yeah, we had
it's
such
so
a
nice to have that perspective.
So I was born in 1995. I don't know if you're comfortable saying your age.
I'm 97.
Okay,
but
97.
Same-ish.
Yeah, no, I mean, my sister was 98 or 99 or something, and I still feel like we're the same age pretty much at this point. But yeah, no, we're going to look back in history. I'm imagining the year 2080 or something. People are going to be looking at us. We're literally on our deathbeds, basically. And they're going to be like, you were born in the 1900s?
I
Like,
know.
what? And then they're going to
I think
be
about
like,
this all the time.
yeah, like they're going to be like, you didn't have the internet for a time. Like, that is ancient. Like, you are a literal artifact. You're a little, yeah, you are history. It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, it's also like in history class when you were studying like, the early 20th century, if somebody was born in like 1898, you're like, "Whoa, that person
Yeah.
was born in the 1800s." Even though like, 1900 is 2 years away. It just seems so different.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're still cool.
I got recommended a video, and it was this YouTube channel called like Life in the 1800s.
Okay. I think
And
I've heard of this.
yeah, it just random clips of people, and there was a video that was recorded in like 1920 or something like that, and there was like that 80-year-old dude, and it got colorized and everything, and just the film got a little bit better, so it looks a little bit crisper than originally, I'm assuming. But he is talking about like Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Like, I am listening to a man on video that lived through that. I'm like, what the? This is insane.
I know. It's so hard to like imagine any lifetime outside of your own.
It's gonna be really weird as well, thinking like the year like 2100 or something. They're gonna look back in the history books. Not even gonna be books anymore. It's literally all gonna be internet. But people are gonna look back at like Trump and they're like, that was a thing. Like,
Yeah.
that actually happened. And we're
What's
like, yep.
weird about what's weird about life going forward though is I don't feel like people are gonna have like do you have okay, so everything in the 1900s, it was like filmed in black and white. There's like a different style of language and all this stuff, and we just didn't have access to like, the internet or the resources that we have now to make everything come to life as much as we do now. I don't feel like going forward, like people in, the 2100s and the 2200s are going to have that same feeling because we have HD video. Like,
It's
I understand
true,
that
yeah.
obviously it's going to improve from here on out, but it's already pretty freaking close to the real thing. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think that people are going to look back in time the same way that we do.
So here's a weird thing about that, because I always think I feel like if it feels as though we've reached a ceiling of, how crisp we can make things, how lifelike. But
I'm sure everybody's always thought that.
yeah, but real talk, I honestly think that we are going to get to the point in the future where they know how to manipulate your brain to the point where you can extract memories and relive exact memories. Now, the thing about memories is they're always distorting over time. And so who knows if this is actually going to happen? I just remember hearing stuff on like Neuralink and stuff and being able to relive and certain memories and stuff. But honestly, I really wonder, do you just time capsule these memories and then they stay pure to what they were, and then you can like go back and live that? Because that is what I see the future as. Literally going back in time and reliving a memory, just plugging in this little thing into your brain. Like, we're going to start learning so much more about just our brains and stuff and being able to manipulate how we see life and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much further to go and we just have no idea.
Would you want to relive your memories if you could?
Potentially, but I think I would want to like go into somebody else's memory sort of and just see
that
how
would be
they
fun.
see things,
Yeah, that'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
don't know if
it's-
I'd want to relive mine. Sometimes it's like I like that they're hazy.
Yeah. But by the way, memories are fucking weird because they're not real. Like, it's not like a tangible thing. I guess it is tangible. Everything's tangible.
But it is
It's-
also real because it's kind of like all that we have in the end.
Yeah, but it's strange to think that as soon as the memory is there, it instantly starts getting distorted.
Yeah.
And it just distorts over time. Because have you ever watched a video or something or heard a line in a movie, and then for years you've been thinking, oh, the line is this, like this is the quote, and then you rewatch, you're like, holy shit, like I completely ruined that.
I saw this completely differently.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah, I
weird.
don't know. I try not to think about it too much.
Anyway, I want to get into some topics because we have a
Yeah.
lot, and I'm just gonna start from the top. So if you want to just look on your end,
Yeah, I'll scroll with you.
Yeah. So in no particular order, I know there would be some that would just be a lot better to ask initially, but let's go into it. 42. His name is literally @BA Pet Transmogs. Okay. So have you come to regret giving Mick 7TV editor powers over your channel yet? And before you answer, I'll just cover all of them. How would you prefer we distinguish between you, based Zoe, and Zoe with an H? And who is now in based? Oh, wait. So Zoe's now in based. The one with the H is now in based. And then is Party Mom a title one is born into, one must seek, or it is thrust upon them?
Good questions, honestly. No, I have not come to regret giving Mick 7TV editor powers yet. He has not added too many horny emotes, so once we start getting a little too much booby, maybe I'll have to
Poggers. It's poggers or poggies or whatever.
Well, it's Scape and it's closing the chat and it's Bree Poggies. There's a lot. If you've spent time in Mick's chat, you'll know there's a titty for everything. But no, Mick just I find honestly adding emotes to your own channel is so hard because I type in other people's chats. Like I'm like a Twitch menace. Like, I'm like always typing up like crazy. And I know when they're missing an emote, but I'm not typing in my own chat. So I don't realize when I'm missing an emote.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I need a good chatter to be an editor for me. So I have him and Qneeks as my editors. So if they see I'm missing something, then I let them replace it because I don't know. I'm not typing in there.
Yeah.
Do you have the same thing?
No, I feel the exact same way. I realize I don't have copium in my chat. And I'm always saying copium, and I type copium in other people's chats, but I've never had it in my chat. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah. I do the same thing. Like I type Peepo Big Smile in like everybody's chat I go to. Like I didn't have like a Fendi Please. I didn't have a bunch of stuff for a long time, but Mick's fixing it, so we're gonna be okay. I don't know how I want the Zoes to be distinguished now that Zoe is based. I'll have to think on that. Do you have any ideas?
I think we just call you Zoe 1 and him Zoe 2.
Yeah, I feel like he's like pickle brain Zoe. Like we could just like I feel like we could have some really like belittling name for him about him being a UIM or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to give that one some thought.
Yeah. All right. Is Party Mom a title one is born into?
I like that. I think Uncle's the one that started calling me Party Mom. I think that you have to be born into it. But I think that it's a combination of everything. I think that you need to be born with the maternal instincts. You have to seek the love to party, and you must have thrust upon you the ability to control your substances.
I see. So somewhat responsible, like a mom would be.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think Uncle started calling me Party Mom because when we were at Taste Giving, it was like 4:00 in the morning, and I just started vacuuming because I couldn't take it anymore.
I'm not gonna lie. There's something very I don't even know if nostalgia is the right word for this, but like there's something very comforting about that. At least for me, when I see a woman that does things that my mom would do, I'm like, that's kind of charming. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, the like thing about me being a mom, I think it started as a meme, and then when people met me, they were like, wait, no, Zoe actually is a mom. Just because I'm somebody that always is asking my friends if they're okay, and always like, I always have, water, I always have snacks, I always have gum, like I always have everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fruit snacks.
I stay strapped, yeah. I stay strapped, so I don't know. I just like to make sure everybody's comfortable.
That's so cool.
I check in on the homies. I'm also like at parties, like I don't really like to just sit down for too long. So I'm that person that's like, do you need a drink? Like, do you need anything? Can I grab you something? Like, do you want a snack? Do you want me to make pizza? Like, are you good? We good? Everything's
that's
fine?
Sweet.
I like being that way.
Yeah. And it's nice to be around people like that are actually like always thinking of others.
Especially when it's like, I mean, did you see the Taste Giving stream on Max's channel?
I watched on Elisa's channel when they were by the pool and stuff.
Okay,
that was Taste Giving for sure.
Yeah, Taste Giving on the Sunday that we got back from bowling, and Tasty went live, and it was just me, him, T Papa, and somebody else like back at the Airbnb, and Tasty just decided to go live, and then we were cooking a Thanksgiving dinner the same night, and these idiots don't know how to read the instructions on the turkey. So they got a frozen turkey that was supposed to be cooked from frozen, and they left it out on the counter to thaw, and then cooked it per the frozen instructions. So our turkey was burnt to a crisp.
Oh
There was
God.
smoke everywhere.
Shit.
The stream got insane. Tasty took his pants off. He got rated
Stream.
by Moist Critical. Like
What?
it was it's the funniest thing ever. There's this clip of him just like so confused, and it's like Moist Critical's rated your stream with like 5,300 viewers, and he's like
Jesus
it's so funny.
Christ.
But they need a mom, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
These people seriously need a maternal figure, or else, I mean, I'm not trying to be like self-centered or anything, but I really do think that that place could have burnt to the ground if it wasn't for me and Elisa. I really do.
Yep. Oh God. Yeah, I did see actually now it's ringing a bell because I think Moist Critical actually did. What was it? Was it the whole crystal shard thing? He was
Yeah, it
trying to
was
get a bunch of
the
XP and he
destroying crystal something.
yeah,
for
tools or something like that
yeah.
and making and then he gave Tasty a shout out. I'm like, dude, if you get a shout out from Moist Critical, Charlie
I know, it's so
himself,
cool.
you've fucking made it. Like that's insane.
Dude, it's so cool. He and I like started streaming around the same time, and I feel like I see him making, well, he has a lot of friends that in real life that are like league YouTubers,
Mm-hmm.
and he has those connections, but I just see him like branching out and all this stuff. And even like T Papa now, like I feel like all the people that started streaming around the time I did are like really getting recognition from a lot of people outside the RuneScape community.
Yeah. No, I mean, Tasty, I know he just knows a bunch of YouTubers and kind of like how to be successful, and he's probably just been quote unquote mentored by these guys, but he has just solved it. I mean, he is doing exactly what you need to do to
Absolutely.
grow a massive social media presence.
Yeah, and I think that his like rise and fame also came at the perfect time with like Swampletics and stuff like that, just because so many more people that don't really play RuneScape anymore were just watching RuneScape YouTube content. So it
Yeah.
just like got into them algorithm wise, and yeah, it all just happened so like serendipitously. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. By the way, I actually very much appreciate when other OSRS creators are just killing it because it
Oh
is
yeah.
good for
It's
everybody.
it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
awesome to see. I mean, Settled's growth. I mean, he hit over 500,000 subscribers. I
It's
remember,
insane, yeah.
like, Settled 5 years before Swampletics was everything. He just felt like a normal YouTuber, just like
Yeah, just like doing a little UAM series, no
just-
big deal.
yeah.
Whatever.
That was it. And now
Yeah.
he's just the biggest OSRS creator, and it's just awesome to see. And it's inspiring as well, and it's also just giving a lot more just views to any OSRS content.
Yeah, it's really cool. I am very happy anytime I just see the category do well in whatever state. I also like I'm a super dissociative person, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm a content creator, so like I genuinely feel like no jealousy or anything when it comes to this stuff. I'm only like, "Oh my God, I love RuneScape. Like that game's cool. I'm glad it's doing well."
Yeah.
I'm completely disconnected
By the
in
way,
that regard.
T Papa Slice is going
I
to be the
love
next
him.
fucking big thing.
Absolutely.
And I think I was a little bit late realizing that. I know Uncle a year ago or whenever, it was probably almost a year ago at this point, was like, yeah, T-Pop is going to be the next big thing. And I believe it now. I mean, he is seriously taking leaps and strides.
Oh yeah.
So, and he just nonstop energy. Like it's
Yeah.
exactly what you need in this realm.
Especially now that there's no like new content in the game, the content has to come from within, and he
Yep.
is just like the most natural entertainer that there ever was.
Yeah, sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, there's a thing that I used to think of starting streaming where it was like, you can be whoever you want right now, and people on
Yeah.
the internet will see you as that. So the real question is, do you want to be somebody else that could potentially make it a lot bigger than your normal self, or do you not want to feel obligated to play that role, at all
that's hard.
times?
Yeah. He is actually like that.
I know.
He's just maybe like a calmer version in real
Yeah.
life, but yeah, I see a lot of people like put on the persona and then burn out really quick.
Yeah, and it's hard to like keep it up, but I think the best
Yeah.
mix, at least for me, is just being yourself, but being your best, most entertaining self. Just
Yeah, I think that's what I do, and even that gets exhausting sometimes.
oh yeah, it's work. It's actually work.
Yeah.
Like it,
I think I kind of curse myself by being somebody that a lot of people think is like pretty positive
mm-hmm.
and like having a good outlook on things generally, which is generally true, but I also just like have severe depression. So like some days it's just I feel guilty. I feel like I don't even want to go live because I don't know if I can like mask up how like
Yeah.
not happy I am. And when you know people come to your stream as like a like calming, comforting, positive space, it's like the last thing I would want to do is ruin anyone's mood because I feel a certain way and I can't get over it, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm playing a character at all, but even then I'm like, fuck, like I just want to be a good version of myself.
Yeah.
Which you can't always be.
I started listening to the Tim Dillon podcast recently, and the dude is just fucking funny. He's just a naturally funny person. Everything he does is just perfect. It's just funny, funny, funny. And that has got to be so fucking stressful because
Yeah.
you might think, oh, like he's just nailed it. That's him. But like he has to practice and I mean, of course, his practice just comes from doing it more and more. But like,
hmm
the fucking pressure of like I need to one up that, like I need to be better than I
Yeah.
previously was, and just keep improving and just getting the perfect comedic timing with everything. Like, oh, he's nailed it. But and you might think, and I used to see this as well with the streamers that are just really funny and stuff. Like, you fucking made it. Like, you have no stress whatsoever anymore. Like, you've made it. But no, it is still work. Like, it is like
hmm
I got to be better, 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 because it's a competitive place to be in a content creation field.
Yeah. And unfortunately the key to being funny is not thinking you're funny. So
Yeah,
it's
but
it's pretty tough.
one thing I notice is just loudness and wittiness, and like that is what really sells big. And of course, there's a
hmm
lot more to it. Just knowing, like, don't be fucking cringe as well. But like, I don't know.
Harder
It's
than you'd
crazy to see.
expect.
Yeah, but I see myself, and I've always been a class clown growing up.
hmm
I I don't know if I ever thought I was funny, but like, you have that thing where you're just like you're the talkative kid in the class, you start making other people laugh and stuff. So I always felt a little bit like, okay, I could probably be some sort of comedian growing up, but it is so much more work than just trying to be funny in a class setting like it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went to performing arts high school, and one of my we did like we in my acting class it was like broken down into different, you know, things per semester, and one of our semesters was comedy, and I had to do a stand-up routine in class, and I'm not kidding, it was probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life. Like nobody laughed, and if somebody
Oh.
did laugh, it was like a pity laugh. Like being funny in day-to-day conversation and being funny in a like performative setting are two completely different
So
things.
true.
Yeah.
You have
I
to
would even
also.
consider streaming a performative setting sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I
Sometimes.
can only imagine how much scarier and intimidating it is in a live, like you are seeing people and everything you're doing is like being critiqued.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, so we do have some topics, by the way, about your acting career. In fact, we'll actually just go there right now and just talk about it. So
Sure.
Caveman only says, tell us more about your acting background. Is there something specific you took away from that world that you think has contributed to your recent success on Twitch.television? And who originally brought you to old school? I guess we've already kind of talked about that. And what made you
Mhm.
stick around?
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that there are more parallels to like performing and streaming than I ever thought there would be. When I first looked at streaming, I thought it was more just like playing video games and talking to your friends, but I think the more that you do it, you realize that the hardest part is the same thing that's the hardest part about performing for me, which is like the consistency and the motivation and
Yeah.
all of that. So I kind of like grew up in the theater. My dad was a lighting designer and my mom was a performer. She did like TV shows in Argentina, and they met because my dad was doing a tour of a musical in Argentina, and my mom didn't really speak English and my dad spoke a little bit of Spanish, but they like somehow managed to go on a date. And then, yeah, so they moved to New York together. And then I was born in Florida because they kind of took a step away from that. But even then, like I always kind of grew up with like a love for theater. And like my dad really always loved like show tunes and jazz and things like that. So I just always really liked that sort of thing. When I was in elementary school and middle school and all of that, I grew up in the ballet. And like when I didn't have ballet, I would go to the theater that my dad worked at and just like sit backstage waiting for him to be done. So I would just like meet a bunch of the actors and like they would talk to me. And I was just like this like little 9-year-old like sitting like doing my homework and talking to all these like professional actors. And it was really cool. And it made me like it a lot. And then, yeah, I went to performing arts middle school and I went to performing arts high school. And I was just always in like acting camps and things like that. Like it was just always a really big part of my life. And then at my high school, it was a pretty like intense theater program. And part of that was you had to at least prepare a college audition. So the way that it works for like theater programs and acting programs is that not only do you have to like apply to the actual school, but you have to like go and audition for them somehow. Usually it's like a monologue or like a song or whatever, but you have to prepare it. So everybody prepares like their college audition packet, even if they're not actually auditioning for colleges. And when I was about to graduate high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to go to school for math. I really liked math and I just wanted to like work with numbers somehow. I wasn't really sure exactly where, but since I like already had my college audition packet, I was like, I might as well just like audition for a bunch of schools. And then I ended up getting into my top choice and I was like, oh, and then I only applied to 2 schools for math and I got waitlisted at my top choice. So I was like, guess I'm going to go to school for theater. Like, why not? I got a full ride and I was like, why not? Like, I have nothing better to do. I also like my senior year of high school high school was interesting for me because my dad passed away freshman year.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
then it happens. And then senior year, like I applied for a lot of scholarships and a lot of those were like for adversity and things like that. So one of the things that I wrote about a lot was my dad and like growing up in the theater and, you know, just talking about him and all that in all my essays. So I think like my love for theater was super fresh on my mind at the time. And I also kind of felt like I wanted to do it for him. He never really wanted me to do theater because he knew how hard it was and he knew how like unforgiving the career is. But I wanted to do it regardless just because, you know, I just had that love in me for forever. So then I went to college and I have a BFA in musical theater now. And I signed with, at the end of your college, you have like a senior showcase and a bunch of agents come and I bombed it. I was horrible. Like I was so nervous. I could not sing at all. There were clips of it and I asked for them to be deleted. I was like, this is terrible. It was really so bad. And like a bunch of people in my class got offers from like 30 agents, 20 agents, you know, to go and have a meeting. I got an offer from one, but it was my top choice.
Okay.
But they said, we only really want to do TV and film with you. And I was like, that's great. Like, I like singing and I like dancing, but it's so much work and it doesn't really come as naturally to me as it comes to a lot of other people. So I knew that if I wanted to do it as a career, I would constantly be paying for like dance classes, which are $30 each, and voice lessons, which are $200 an hour, and stuff like that that I just couldn't really afford as somebody who like came in from like low income, like on a full scholarship to school.
Yeah.
It's just not really a sustainable career for somebody who's not rich and doesn't immediately make it.
Yeah.
And then I graduated in 2019 and then the pandemic hit. And your first year of being with an agent is kind of more just introducing yourself to people. Like I went in for a lot of really big things that I was never going to get because a famous person was going to get them, but it was just so that like the casting director would know my name and just kind of know who I was. So there was never really anything like attainable that I was sent in for. But that was kind of all like interrupted when the pandemic hit. I'm still auditioning now. I don't love it as much as I used to. It's just a lot of work. Like right now I got this audition last night at 7 p.m. It's due tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's 8 pages long and I have to learn a dance.
Oh God.
Like it's like I have to drop everything to do this. Like I don't know how they expect people to have a life and do this on the side. It's so much work and it just like it's one of those things that once I start memorizing it, it's like any time that I'm not sitting there memorizing, I feel like I'm wasting time and I'm anxious, and
Yes.
it's just not nearly as enjoyable as it was before I started doing it as a career. Like I love being in a show and I love like
Hmm.
actually performing, but all the work that it takes to get there is just something that I don't know how much longer I can deal with. But I mean, that's kind of why I started streaming as well, because I was like, I really like being in front of people and I really like talking to people and I really like, I like putting on makeup and like showing up. Like I love doing that. It's really like I love all those aspects, but the actual act of like just waiting around and like having a survival job for months just to like maybe get one audition,
Yeah.
it's just not really doing it for me anymore. But yeah, that's basically the background. And I think a lot of the reason I started streaming too was because it was just at a time where like I didn't have any auditions because no productions were happening. And I think that acting is going to be a lot different coming out of the pandemic now too, because everybody's unemployed, everybody wants a job, everybody's so hungry for it, and I don't have that hunger that everybody else does. There are
Yeah.
other things that I'm just a lot more interested in. And I think that unfortunately it's one of those things that you have to like devote your life and be willing to make no money for a long time, which I'm just really not willing to do anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And now you've seen the beauty of just Twitch
Yeah,
and
I love
YouTube
making
content
my own
creation.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
I've
it's
always loved
your
it.
project. It's
Yeah,
not somebody else's
exactly.
project and they're just like trying to get people. It's like, now this is all you now and you have full freedom and control.
Yeah. And one of the things that I really liked about theater is that like I love being a part of a play that like really makes you think and like really makes you like change your perspective on something. Like there was a lot of like political theater and like just a lot of like really provocative stuff that was coming out, especially when I was in college, that I loved
Mm.
so much. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. Like I feel like I can tell the story really well. And now, unfortunately, because of the pandemic as well, a lot of the productions that are being made are like owned by Disney or are like more commercial or are something that isn't as controversial, isn't as interesting
Mm.
because they know they need to make a profit. They can't afford to not make a profit.
Yeah.
So they're not willing to try anything risky or interesting or anything like that. So I don't feel like I have a place there anymore to be able to make a difference in anybody's day, make a difference in anybody's perspective. Whereas I do kind of feel like I have that on Twitch a little bit. I feel like I've had a few people reach out to me and say that like, I've made their day better or I've helped them through something. And that is like the impact that I wanted to make with acting that I never really could.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of like checking all the boxes for me in the same regard.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
and it's also really cool to just know the true freedom you have as a content creator now with an audience. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't even have to be just a normal stream. Like put you could just do anything on your stream, something that you've just always wanted to do or something that's
Hmm.
completely unique and it will just be the new thing. Like I don't know, there's just so much potential doing what you're doing now rather than just being an actor for somebody and like having to
Yeah.
memorize all these things and the competition. I can only imagine how
Oh
much
God.
anxiety that shit would give me. I mean,
Yeah, it's just yeah.
like I was a music major going into college and I only lasted 2 semesters and I just realized there are hundreds of people at the school that are 1,000 times more passionate about music than I am. And so
Yep.
that would just stress me out. It's like, okay, I'm kind of passionate, but like when you start seeing the competition and what you really have to compete with, it's pretty daunting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's not an easy industry, and I think that when you're getting into it, people will tell you that and you're like, "Oh, I'll be fine," like I'll be fine. I can make it work. And then you get there and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be." And not even necessarily harder. It's just like it's not worth it.
Yeah. Sometimes it can feel, especially when you're just saying like the things you were passionate about, those actual impactful films potentially, and just, monologues and stuff just aren't even being
Yeah,
made
the
because
love for it
they
just
want the
goes
cookie
away.
cutter. The
Yeah.
cookie cutter. That's how I. By the way, the whole cookie cutter thing, which is like guaranteed money, kind of like just do what works. It's very dull, and it's with
Yeah.
so many things.
Well, you see it everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like a tactic that's only in like TV and film
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's
movies.
everywhere.
But yeah, I mean, it's a product and they have to sell it. It's,
Hmm.
consumerism because consumerism.
My older brother was in kind of like advertising a little bit, and then he became a creative director at this place, and he was able to pretty much just produce content for his boss and stuff, and it was great. And he would just show off these like leather products because that's what he was kind of in, like the leather business.
That's
And
cool.
then he left the job to get a 10K raise somewhere else. By the way, that 10K raise ended up not even being a raise because he just had to work like 3 more hours a day every day. But he went to this job and thought he would have all this creative freedom to do stuff, and they're like, nope, you do this. And what he would do is make an Instagram post or just any social media post, and it was cookie cutter. It was put in bold yellow text, 50% off sale, and then do this. Like, it was like cookie cutter, like this works. Like, that's all that is. Don't try to be creative, don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's do this. And he got so depressed. Like, he was like, this is fucking awful. Like,
You're no more creative than any like office secretary at that point.
Yeah.
You're just punching the numbers into the thing, and
yeah, and that's
the way
just
it is.
that's where you lose all your passion for advertising and stuff. Like, you have these dreams and these aspirations, like, I can make some great, amazing advertisement or just some awesome video or product display, and like, nope, just fucking say 50% off, bold text. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, I also want to say, just in terms of like the ties that acting and stuff has to streaming, I feel like this kind of goes with what he went through, but I feel like I am a bit lucky in that I've never had a stable career, and that I've always been worried that I'm not good enough. I've always been worried that people don't like me. That's always been a thing for me. So that is all nothing new to me when it comes to streaming, because that's what, my job has always been. So I think it's easier in that regard than if I had just like started from scratch from a career with like a salary and then
Yes.
gone to something where it's so volatile. It's like, I'm used to the volatility.
Yeah.
Like, I've never thought I was good enough. So like, you lay it on me. Like, I'm good. I made a steal. You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want.
No,
Yeah.
that's how I feel as well. I've just never. I've always felt sort of like the, not like outcast per se, but just like I never had my shit together. Whereas my brothers were always like pretty focused on things. Like, hey, I want to do this, and like my brother was really into film and advertising. He just went into it, and I was lost in college. I switched my major twice, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So anything was better, and so streaming just felt amazing. Because I didn't have anything to like, I don't know. It's like, I didn't leave a salary job or anything. It was just like, oh, this is all better than what I previously had. So it just worked out nice. Okay. Ian asks, next YouTube series, thoughts on what trade you would choose if you didn't go to college route? Would you still stream with a consistent 9-to-5 job? How do you feel with the consistent backseating in game, no matter what you do? And thank you for being you, Zoe. You're always killing it.
Oh, love you, Ian. Next YouTube series, I think that I don't want to commit to a series for a while. I have a lot of like one-off video ideas that I want to get done, and I think I would rather do that until I feel more comfortable on YouTube. I'm sure you can relate that sometimes you start a series and
you're like, oh,
it doesn't go exactly where you want it to go, or it doesn't feel as good as you want it to, and then you just feel like you have to finish it. So I would rather not overthink it and just do like one-off videos that I think are a good idea and see what type sticks the most and see what type gets the best feedback. And then maybe if one of those does really well, then I'll do a series that's kind of in that style, because I still don't know what my style is on YouTube yet. I still don't know exactly what sort of content I want to make. That's so hard. It's like something I don't want to like decide on and then completely change later. So I'm just gonna kind of test the waters. But yeah, I have a few ideas. I should have a video out in the next like 3 weeks or so probably. So yeah, we're doing stuff, but
hell yeah,
it's scary to just like commit.
And you edit your own videos? Like, you do everything?
I do sometimes. I didn't edit my Leagues videos.
Okay.
Jixie did those just because Leagues is horrible and there's no time. But Jixie's amazing, and I'll probably, I mean, I'm definitely going to work with Jixie again, but I'll probably edit some other stuff in my own time just because I want to know what my style is, like completely from my own brain. And then, have somebody kind of piggyback off of that.
It's so exciting though. Like, just
Yeah.
you're discovering what content you want to do on YouTube, and YouTube's so massive. And honestly, I mean, look at T Papa, very new to YouTube, and he's killing it. Like, he thinks of an idea. He's not too rushed. Like, one thing I struggle with is I always feel like, oh, I need to put out more content, and my content's more like just long form or just talking.
Yeah.
and I don't really put too much time into like the production, like editing and stuff like that. But yeah, when I've seen that one video or two videos that are just popping off can make a huge difference, and it just completely changes, like, I don't know, it completely gives you a huge growth spurt, and then that just kickstarts you into whatever you do want to do.
Absolutely. And I love watching those like longer form videos. Like I love your videos. I love like Mudkip's videos that are all just like very relaxed and easy, just conversational, nothing like no bells and whistles about them. But yeah, I studied like digital design in school. Like, I studied like some film and stuff. So I just feel like I have the potential to make something that is like, at the scale of like Guns Chili or something at some point in
Yeah.
my life. It's just exactly like what I want to do with it. I just know that I have like the technical skills to get there. So I think it'll be a long journey to like figure out exactly what it is that I want to make, but
Yeah.
we'll get there. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. I already got plenty of time. I
Yeah.
also think it's so much nicer when you already do have a big audience. So
Yeah.
whatever you're doing just feels fulfilling because, oh, I'm like, this is my living, so it feels good. But when you're growing and you're trying to do something, you're putting in just so many hours and you're getting nothing from it. But that's just what it is. You just have to
Yeah.
put in a bunch of hours, but it just gets easier and easier as you grow.
But in the same regard, I do also feel like sometimes I just want to like play and mess around and not have any expectations on it. And
Yeah.
then there's like too many people watching for me to not overthink it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, but
Yeah,
it
it's
is
it's
definitely a better thing.
it's tough. And I think like I look at Settled and I'm like, he loves making beautiful content, just really well done. He kind of probably has that little bit of a perfectionist personality where he just wants things to be great, really well organized, just a fantastic series, and he's seeing it like long term, like Swampletics, for example. It's just he was very meticulous with making it really nice, and that's just
Absolutely.
not me, and it's really hard for me to like to really just love and enjoy the process of editing a beautiful video because I just am not that
Oh, it's
great at
really
it.
hard in general, yeah.
Yeah,
Also, if you stream, it's like where does the time go?
exactly.
There's no time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna start taking off one more day per week. I normally stream like 6 days a week now, and then just take off extra if I have like auditions or something. But I think I'm just gonna commit to like 5 and just committing one of those days to YouTube no matter what.
That's a great investment. I honestly
Yeah,
believe so.
I think it'll be good in the long run. And 5 days is still like,
Yeah, and in
people
fact,
always
when
like
you
to joke, full-time streamer,
yeah,
like take your days off. Shut up. Shut up. People have weekends.
yeah, no, but seriously, that is just a great investment. And the day you take off, people just want, they'll just be eager to see you when you do come back.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. I can play it up,
Yeah, exactly.
Big YouTube video coming out, guys. Subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, thoughts on what trade you would choose if you didn't go to college, if you didn't do the college route, and would you still stream with a consistent 9 to 5 job?
I don't know. I think we were talking about this in, who was it? I think like Lopsy's stream or something. Just talking about how so many people feel like they have to go to college, and then once they go to college, they're like spending all this money and there's no jobs for them, and that's just like the reality of the world that we live in right now.
Yeah.
Whereas like, trade school is kind of frowned upon. I don't know. I think I would probably be, just because my dad was an electrician, I think I'd probably be an electrician of sorts. But I'm honestly like, I'm one of those people that's like, I'm so annoying. Like, I'm really the worst. Like, I'm such a perfectionist, and like, I'm such a type A person that I just can't see myself ever like leaving from the way that I was in high school to ever being in trade school, just because like, I just am I'm that bitch that like always wanted to like, like, I just like, I need to go to private school. Like, I just needed to, I'm just that person.
Oh my god.
Would I still stream with a consistent 9 to 5 job? I don't think so. When I first started streaming, I was working at a gym, but I only worked I was working, I think like maybe like 35 hours a week. So like nothing too crazy, but enough to like be tired.
Yeah.
And I still streamed 4 days a week, I think, around that. But my streams were a lot shorter, and I was a lot more like motivated to stream more just because I saw the growth and I was like, oh, I gotta really keep going with this. Whereas now, I mean, I still do feel that way, and I do feel like I need to like, grow my channel and be as consistent as possible. But that like hunger for it has relaxed a little bit. Like it's just,
yeah.
we've chilled out. We've chilled out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I deal with, unfortunately right now I'm dealing with like being hormonal issues and being really exhausted and nauseous all the time. So
Mm,
even now sometimes I feel like streaming is too much. So I at the moment absolutely I could not stream with like a 9 to 5. Like I
yeah.
can barely stream. Like I'm struggling. But I props to the people that do it. Like people like fucking Lopsy who work like 40 something hours a week, wake up at 4 a.m. and then go live for 5 hours. I admire it so much, but I don't think I could ever be one of those people. But also
Yeah.
uh I think that I don't know if you've experienced this as well. I think that when I had a real job and I was working a bunch of hours and like picking up shifts and like, the money that you make is like you're getting paid by the hour, like all this, blah, blah, blah. You have to work as much as you can. I think when I started streaming, I started realizing that life is kind of short and that we don't really need to work as much as society has convinced us that we do if we can figure it out for ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think once you like, I think once you stream full time or like do any sort of like freelance creative career full time, you kind of
Hmm.
realize that 9 to 5 isn't worth it.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting take. And I see it myself. I feel like over the past few years, I've just really, well, especially the past year, I've really started to appreciate living in the moment. Like, am I happy right now?
Yeah,
Because that's really all that matters. I mean, your past doesn't matter and the future hasn't happened yet. So, like, why, like, just live in the moment? But I also have that feeling as well where it's like, hey, I'm young. I have this great opportunity that might not be here forever
mm-hmm.
of being able to have an audience on Twitch and Twitch being a viable option and YouTube being a thing I'm doing. And so then I'm like, maybe I should just be hustling a lot more and just doing more and more and more and more and more. And then I can chill, 5 years down the line where I've really hustled for multiple years and then I can kind of relax. And it's really hard to like find that balance. I think I've found it somewhat well. I
Absolutely.
think I can always put in more effort and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
what it really matters, what it all comes down to is like, are you happy? Like, are you
Yeah.
right now?
And I think you realize once you do this for a while too that well, I just completely lost my train of
You're
thought.
good. Okay. Well, if you think back to it, feel free. How do you deal with the consistent backseating in game no matter what you do?
Oh, I mean, I think we touched on this earlier, but I think I'm very lucky to have a chat that knows what I like and knows what I don't like.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I don't really mind backseating because I think that people have good intentions and I am still learning. So, like, I am very much open to feedback, but sometimes it is like, I can't, I don't remember what it was, but somebody in Inferno the other day was like, I had like already gotten post healers and they were giving me like the most like rudimentary advice I'd ever heard. I was
Oh my
like,
god.
okay, all right, like, sure.
Yeah.
I think people, people just like expect that you're a girl and you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing, which sometimes is true. Sometimes I am stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you're completely right in saying that, but I also do like to figure things out for myself. I don't know. I try to like, if I know that somebody has good intentions and I know that somebody isn't like trying to like belittle me or anything like that, then usually I just kind of like brush it off and I'm like, okay, cool. Or I just ignore it. Um, but when it gets to the point where it's like very clear that this person thinks that they're a lot better than I am, then I'm like, all right, we can. Because the people that are actually good at the game don't talk like that.
Exactly. That's when you start
Yeah.
noticing. It's like the people that actually would have great advice don't say
Yeah.
anything. So,
Like all like especially, I'm in Inferno right now, so I think I'm dealing with it the most that I'll ever deal with it.
yeah.
And all the people that are in I have a lot of people in my chat and that I'm friends with that are really, really freaking good. Like, I have like Simply and like a lot of the legends in there, like, and everybody that's really good is telling me that I'm doing a great job. And then it's the people that have like 1 KC that
Yeah.
want to tell me that, I should be doing the like lazy mage range flick when I have them stacked south, whatever,
Yeah.
things like that.
No, I mean, like, even when I'm doing my content, like, I'm staring at my chat for the most part, and I make mistakes and stuff, and I do other stupid things, and then people be like, "Oh, you could do this," or like, you could do this. Like one time, like I was literally killing Sarachnos yesterday, and some guy was like, "Why aren't you using Death Charge or Thralls?" And I'm like, I literally like you just popped in at the one time I just didn't do it because I'm talking to my chat. Like, god damn it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
God, I love watching you kill that thing with the mace. It's so satisfying. I remember the days when Sae Bae didn't have a mace.
Oh my god.
The real ones will know.
That felt like forever. Oh my god.
The real ones will know.
Yeah.
Good times.
Okay, Mr. Easyscape has a few questions. What was your favorite flavored gummy we had? Oh god. And then how come you haven't
That's
slapped
not
me yet? What the fuck? There is a huge influx of a lot of men in the OSRS community wanting to be slapped or stepped
Yeah.
on or just things like that. And then also the watermelon crushing will forever be my idea. You and Prison Cutie. Is that Prison Joe? Prison Cutie. Just are more attractive to look at while doing it. And also, when is our KFC gravy event happening? Love you.
Wow, those are some loaded questions, honestly. So me and Easyscape met at like the first meetup the first time I ever met anyone from Twitch was called KujinoCon, and we met at Elisa's house.
KujinoCon.
And it was like, yeah, it was like me, Elisa, Kujino, Easy,
I think I remember
Krylax,
who streamed
Prison
that?
Joe. Prison Joe.
Okay.
He streamed us like playing beer pong one day.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
also
yeah.
we went to Hibachi, and we pretended that it was Kujino's birthday. Wait, I have to show you this clip. This is like literally one of the best times of my life. Hold on, let me pull it up for you. But yeah, so Easy was there, and me and Easy just bonded on our love for actual gummies, not like weed gummies. Oh my god, the stream is so loud. Yeah, our love for actual gummies. So he brought me like 2 bags of his favorite gummies for me to try, which were like the Lifesaver gummies and something else.
Oh yeah.
They're really, really good. I like the red ones. That's my answer. Okay, let me send you this clip. This was like the first time I ever met people from Twitch. And we just pretended that it was Mario's birthday. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Well, let me play it real quick for the people. Jesus, is that a fucking firework?
It's like one of those like the candle that doesn't blow out or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like a rope. I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
Jesus
That's pretty intense.
Christ. That was back
Yeah.
when you had blonde hair too.
It was, yeah. Back in the olden days. But yeah, so we also had planned for that event. We were like, what's the best stream that we can come up with that we should all stream together when we get there? And our idea was, Elisa has a kiddie pool. So we were going to go to KFC and get buckets of gravy and fill up the kiddie pool with gravy. And then 4 of us were going to get chicken suits and we were going to chicken fight in the kiddie pool, in the gravy.
Dear
It never
God.
happened. But it'll happen eventually, I swear. So I don't have an answer for you, Easy. Maybe at TwitchCon or something. If you can pull together a few gallons of gravy, just let me know. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing to plan.
Very nice. Okay.
Um,
Oh yeah. Well.
I don't think I could ever slap him. He's too nice.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. There are some people that. Well, I guess I'm not in the position to slap people. I wish I was. I would slap Ignoble Solid. I know he likes being slapped by women, but I would.
Oh, I did that once.
I would also like to slap him just for
Yeah.
funsies.
It was really nice. Like the little pathetic look on his face afterwards. He is the perfect candidate for slapping, honestly.
Just completely just no ego after you slapped him. Just like his most vulnerable you can ever see.
Yeah,
him.
he's just like, thank
There he
you. I think he just said thank you. I think that's all he said.
Ignoble. Oh,
Love that guy.
did you listen to Based After Dark?
I have not listened to the whole thing yet. I listened to a little bit, but
Okay. First of all, fucking some funny parts just like absolutely made me just crack up. What I always find funny is when there's multiple people on a mic in a podcast or on a stream or something like that, and some guy's mic is just lower than everyone else. So like Ignoble's mic on that Based cast was like literally 50% volume compared to everyone else. So what was
he would be the one that's too quiet.
So what's so funny is he just gets drowned out. Like whenever he's trying to say anything, everyone just talks over him and you just hear his like wimpy little voice that's just like so quiet trying to cut in and nobody gives him a chance. And it just happened multiple times. I was just dying laughing because he's trying to get like his thing out, but everyone talks over him. Oh my
Did you watch
God.
Tasty's stream last night?
No.
Ignoble is over at Tasty's house right now, so Ignoble like came on the stream and was like, "Hey guys, it's me, Tasty," and he like started to solo Tob, and everybody was just the only thing that anybody was saying was like, "Tasty, why are you 5'8"? Tasty, are you really like under 6 feet tall? Like, when did you get so short? Did you get a height reduction?" I felt so bad.
Dude,
Oh my God, poor Ignoble.
we have to get Ignoble partnered ASAP.
I agree.
Because he is a smart, very intelligent man, and he has a very good future ahead of him, regardless if it's on Twitch or not. But I don't want him to leave the community. And I know, like, he's finishing school. I think he's finishing school. I think he's almost done.
He's like a doctor or something. He's really fucking smart.
Fucking smart, brilliant guy. But I want him to stay. So selfishly, we need to get him partnered ASAP so he sticks around.
I agree.
Doesn't abandon
Selfishly,
us.
I feel that way about the vast majority of people in base that aren't partnered. But
yeah.
I honestly say that from like a non-biased perspective. They are my friends, but they wouldn't be my friend if I didn't think their streams were lit. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's why we met, is because I like their streams. And, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Steven asks, will you ever escape the confines of your fear and add more quality emotes to your 7 TV? What gives you the most pride as an Italian plumber? If you could land one acting role, what would it be? Who are your idols? Who influences you the most?
Okay, well, if remember how we were talking about the booby emotes earlier?
Yep.
Have you seen Escape?
No. I don't have 7TV downloaded, but I'm very...
Really?
Whale keeps... Okay, I will get 7TV. You know what?
I'll just send you Escape right now. This is the emote, and this is what 42 was talking about earlier. This is... Hold on. Where is it? You know what? I'm not going to send it to you. It's just a wide emote of like these bouncing titties that are about to fall out. And every day, Steven will just type Escape in my chat as if the emote is added, and he just won't stop. And sometimes I'll go into my offline chat and Steven's just typed Escape like 20 times just to see if it's added or not. And yeah, I can't add the titty emotes, unfortunately. I'm a girl and I just feel like they're going to be abused, and I don't want to deal with it, you know? Yeah. What gives you the most pride as an Italian plumber? Also, again, he made a meme of me dressed up as Mario and made me say, it's a Zoepancakes, and that's what he's referring to. So thank you for that, Stephen. Really the pride and joy of my career. If I could land one acting role, what would it be? I don't know. I think the stuff that I still like doing, like it's good when I get an audition and I'm not like, oh, like, fuck this. Like, I have to drop everything in my life for it. Like, the only ones that I'm still, like really excited about are things that are for, like, networks like CW or something. I really want to play, like, a vampire on, like, a teen drama.
Ooh.
That just sounds really fun, easy, like,
chill.
Not too high. Yeah, chill, like, not too high stakes, nothing too... nothing that I have to like work insanely hard on, just something like that.
And you would still get a cult following of people like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like the perfect kind of role to land with like the type of streaming that I do too. Something where I'm not too nice so that I don't have to like, stop swearing on my stream or anything. My publicist says so, But yeah, I think something like that. An easy, TV show that doesn't film for years, something like that. Because something that I could do alongside streaming would be really ideal.
Yeah.
And then idols. I mean, I have a lot of them. Like, do I just go down the list?
Three people that you and...
Three?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Don't have to be the top 3. And then I'm also going to ask for shout outs. They won't be the top 3 either, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like my shout outs are maybe different than my idols just because my shout outs are like my friends. Idols came first. I think the first person that like really inspired me was Rig, because he was one of the first bigger streamers that I felt like really cared about me, and I felt like really, I don't know, like took the time out of his day to like express that he saw potential in me, and he would like always throw hosts my way and just say really, really kind words that I really needed to hear at that time. And he's just always been super positive, and I don't know, I feel like he, especially now, really has a good life balance figured out, and he's really inspired me in that regard. I think Hannah was also a really big inspiration for me, especially when I first started, because she's just like getting on stream and like she plans everything perfectly. Her production quality is amazing. She's incredibly funny. She's incredibly personable, but she just like gets on there and relaxes. And I think that when you first start streaming, like that is one of the hardest things to do. Is just like show up and chill. And she's just like the perfect example of that. Like not overthinking it. Like it seems so natural. It seems so... she does all the preparation ahead of time so that when she gets there, all she needs to do is show up, which I think really inspired me a lot. Yeah, those are 2 really big ones in terms of streaming, I would say.
Okay.
Oh, also skill specs. I am obsessed with Skill Specs' stream. I think he is like the perfect mixture of banter and just being a nice person, but also like having everything that he does on stream be for content, even if it like
Yes.
risks his reputation. Like he is so fucking good. He's
Yeah.
so good. I am his biggest fan, actually.
He really just understands not taking yourself too seriously.
Yes.
Everything's
And
about the
he
content.
knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's amazing.
no, he is a fantastic streamer.
Yeah, and he
And
has a chat that active, and he still manages to like say hello to the vast majority of people. Like he's so nice. He's so grateful for everything that he
oh
gets.
yeah. Like you could just tell even with his like persona going on, you could just tell he has such a sweet heart, you
He's
know.
such a good person. Yeah.
He is a good person. And he is an OG, so that just helps so much. Like, imagine if Skill Specs had only been streaming for a couple years or something. It's just like it's not the same. It's the fact that he's one of like the grandfathers of the platform.
Yeah.
Just like Skill Specs. I don't know.
And so many of the OGs you see get even just a little bit jaded, and I feel like you don't get even an inkling of that from him at all.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
even though he like hates where the game is right now, you still don't. He still manages to make it completely entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
He's
really
a
inspiring.
natural entertainer.
Yeah.
He's
One
one
of those people that makes me feel like I could do it for,
Yeah.
5+ years.
Yeah, he's also one of those people that could just. I want him to be a podcaster. I want him to talk. That's all I want. I just want. I would love to hear a Skill Specs ramble.
Dude,
Just-
imagine him and Torvesta just had a podcast together.
No,
That'd
that
be
is what I'm
so
like.
good.
You listen to Skill Specs, and he could just make everything entertainment. Just anything he
Yeah.
talks about, he would just go off the walls with everything. It would just be funny and entertaining the whole entire way through because he's just that kind of guy. Just super bouncy. Just boom, boom,
Even
boom.
like his Twitter replies, like he just makes like the funniest comment out of absolutely nothing. Yeah, he would be great.
He would kill it.
Maybe someday. I'll hit him up.
All right. Ignoble, speaking of the man himself, he asks, "Why did you slap me? Will you slap me again? Any plans to move past OSRS content, hobbies, things you enjoy outside of streaming, and what's your favorite fashion accessory?"
I slapped Ignoble because he had just gotten slapped by Marsa, I believe, as like I don't know why. There was a reason. I think it had something to do with like something in her chat or an emote that he wanted to make or something like that. But anyways, Marsa slapped Ignoble, and then I was standing right next to them, and then I was just like, "Can I slap you?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I slapped him. It's really that simple.
Yep.
And if you would like for me to slap you again, you can just tell me, Ignoble. Really, as we mentioned before, you were the perfect candidate for it. So gladly. Any plans to move past OSRS content? I don't.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Please, please.
So, on the Based After Dark podcast, they were talking about if Ignoble and Prison Joe just like switched bodies, but like still had the same personality. So imagine Prison Joe, but Ignoble Solid, and they were like, "Yeah, we would report you." Like basically, like if it wasn't because of just Ignoble's physical characteristics, he would be reported and just removed from the fucking platform for how weird he is. But he just nails it. But just imagine Prison Joe, but with the fucking creepiness of Ignoble Solid.
I would fear that
my
man.
ass
I would
off.
fear that man.
Yeah.
It's only because he's so puny in stature. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm a big Ignoble fan. Okay, I need to all make that very clear.
Huge fan of him.
We love Ignoble.
I wouldn't
All
say
out of
this if I
love.
didn't absolutely love him.
Yes, exactly. That's fucking hilarious, though. Yeah, you should slap him though. Really, if you ever get the chance.
I would love to.
All right, clear. TwitchCon, you going?
Dude, okay. I'll just keep this very brief. I have social anxiety. I don't know. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Like, I think of the logistics of me going to an airport, getting the money, going to an airport, flying to San Diego or wherever it is, not fucking knowing where the hell I am, don't have a vehicle, somebody fucking pick me up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, where am I staying? I don't know. Just there's so many things I stress out about. And you know why? It's because I've like literally trapped myself in solitude for like 3.5 years. I've forgotten how like real things happen, and it stresses me out. And all it takes is just me to do it, and then I'm back to normal. But like, I don't know.
I think it'd
I'm
be a good
very
time for you to
anxious.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Well, if you need help with like accommodations and stuff, I know a few people that have Airbnbs that might have extra rooms that you probably know at least as acquaintances. So we can talk about that later if you want. But
Yeah.
I think you should go. I think this is a good time to get over it because the first time that I met people from Twitch, have you met people from Twitch before? I'm assuming yes.
No,
Really?
I have not physically met anybody on
Wow.
Twitch yet, and I've even had a few
Okay,
people
it's
drive
your
through
time.
Alabama and try to like meet up or something, but we just haven't made it happen yet.
Unfortunately, this has turned into an intervention, and it is your time.
No, I
So
want
you're gonna
to.
go,
Yeah.
and if you're anxious about it, I'll help you figure that out because I would be happy to. And I know people in San Diego with cars, and Lopsy's there, so you know he would be willing to drive you places and stuff too. So yeah, we'll
We'll
sort that
talk.
out. But you're
Okay.
going, basically, is what I'm saying. So I'm sorry that you're anxious about it, but you're gonna have to get over it
Yeah.
because you're
No,
going.
it. I know it's good for me. I know
And you can
it's.
slap Ignoble,
Yeah.
so it's really a win-win situation.
I would
So I'll
love
see you
to
there.
meet all you guys too.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the first time I met Twitch people, I was really, really nervous at first. And then I think you, like, because you've talked to them in chats for so long, or even just like if you've watched them stream, like you really, everybody that I've met is pretty much the same that they are on stream. Obviously, like, you know, toned down versions of
Yeah.
themselves, but still the same person. And I think you will be shocked at how comfortable you are. And you
Oh,
talk, like, what are you talking about? You talk to these people for hours. Like,
it's not
Sae Bae Cast is like,
it's not really the social anxiety. Like, it's just everything wrapped into one. Like, this is out of, like, I don't know. It's just like not in the norm of what I do. I wake up and I'm sitting
yeah,
in my
fair.
computer in my own home streaming, and then I do something that's just on the other side of the fucking country, just completely out of the blue, just for a short period of time. Everything about it stresses me out, and that's just the honest truth
That's
about
fair.
it. But I know for a fact, as soon as I'm out there, it's all fine. It's just
Yeah.
everything like getting it all started and planned, and it's just
Yeah, it's only going to be stressful once, though.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad we had this intervention.
Yeah, thank you for hosting it. All
Yeah,
right,
no problem.
any plans to move past OSRS content?
I love RuneScape, and I think that I honestly have like a really long trajectory of things that I want to do in game. So I don't see myself like really moving outside of the category for a long time. I'm not one of those people that like got partnered through RuneScape just so I could like do other things. Like that's not me. I really like this game. I want to like make an iron, and I just have a lot of things that I want to do that I think will take up a few years of time. So I don't really plan to move it past it in that regard for a while, but I do kind of want to do the thing that like Will does where I have like one day a week dedicated to variety because I do really enjoy variety.
Yeah.
I just find that after a day or two, it just kind of gets old.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to start integrating that more. And I would like to do more creative things. Like I have ideas for like cosplays and things like that I want to do. Yeah, but nothing that's going to make me not an OSRS streamer necessarily.
Okay. Hobbies / things you enjoy outside of streaming.
Oh, that's a tough one.
And we'll just
Do you-
also exclude like acting and stuff as well. So
yeah,
just,
of course. Honestly, like anytime that I'm not streaming, I'm just trying to like clear my head, I feel like. So I'm going to the gym. I just started going to ballet once a week, which is really, really, really nice because I love doing it when it's not like as a job. I just really like showing up to class and doing that. So usually I just try to like get active. Sometimes I'll just like go for a walk or I like to go shopping and not buy anything. Like I just like leaving the house. Like
Yeah.
at this point leaving the house is a hobby, you know.
yeah.
It just
Absolutely.
getting outside is a hobby. But I listen to a lot of podcasts and I go for walks and things like that. But I don't have any like other hobbies that really take up a lot of my time. There's things I'd like to get into. I think my next big endeavor, if I do decide that I have time for a hobby on the side, I really want to learn to DJ because I would love to do a DJ stream.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so fun. So that's next on my list. But right now it's just staying alive as a hobby.
Yeah. That's cool.
Being sane is my hobby.
Yeah. Just taking care of yourself. Okay. What's your favorite fashion accessory?
In game or real life?
Both.
Ooh, in game, definitely the villager sandals. They just make every outfit look perfect. I like the briefcase a lot too, and the half moon spectacles. Just really clean.
Yeah.
Adds to the fashion scape always. In real life, I think I would say tattoos. I love tattoos so much. I plan to get a lot more pretty soon now that I am not so worried about if it impacts my acting career or not. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So how
love
many
them.
tattoos do you have?
I have 9 right now.
Damn.
Yeah, I have quite a few. I plan on I'm when I go to Amsterdam for the TwitchCon in July, I'm getting a kind of like big shoulder piece from an artist there I'm really excited about.
That badge, by the way, that
I
Twitch
love it.
answer,
It's
it's
so
so
cool.
dope. It's
Oh my
so just
God.
bright and nice.
It was gone for like the last 3 days, and I was really, really worried about it because I don't know why. It just wasn't showing up on my profile. I was like, did my tickets get canceled? Did they cancel TwitchCon? Like, what's going on? It had me really anxious for a second, but it's back now. Don't worry. I still have my tulip.
Hell yeah.
We're good. Yeah. Scary though.
I would have to say, by the way, I totally agree with you on the villager sandals for fashion accessories in game. I'm
They're kind of
also
underrated, right?
I'm also a huge fan of the Eternal Glory. It's just
It is very
it's
beautiful.
so simple. It's just a little black outline with a purple circle. That's
What's your
it.
go-to fashion scape?
Ooh, okay, so I don't quite know yet. I'm gonna be
I mean, I
honest.
feel like the gilded is kind of iconic.
Yeah, it's a little iconic. It's not. It's more like of a flex statement rather than like what I
Fair.
truly want to wear. I think what I would truly want to wear requires getting ranger boots, and I've only had one
Mm.
pair that I turned into Begasians, so I need to get a nice clean pair of normal rangers again. And I'm like 500 some clues dry of one, so as soon as I get that, I think I can start finally mapping out exactly my fashion scape outfit for like bank standing.
God, I love that you look at it that way. I like fashionscape is it's so its own thing. People that don't take it seriously upset me.
Oh, it's everything. And I want to start including a little bit of third age in it, but I'm like, I don't have the right pieces yet. I
Ooh.
need
Yeah.
I need a top and a bottom of something, and then
Mhm.
everything will start working out. And I
I
really
like the
want
druidic a lot for the fashionscape.
Yeah, I have the normal mage bottoms. If I get that mage top, oh my god.
You
Like
are dripped
it's
out.
fucking over. Like it is over at that point. So
Everybody's gonna be like watching you runway walk down the street. It's gonna be
I will
amazing.
bin the ancestral. I will literally just like fuck the DPS. I don't care. I will do all my burst tasks with third age. I don't care
Of
about the damage boost.
course.
Yeah, like you just have to.
Yeah, life is all about flex.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, your top 3 or bottom 3. Exercises, lifts, moments from your streaming career, male RuneScape streamers. Oh god. So top 3 and bottom 3 of all 3, I'm assuming.
Oh God, that's a lot of pressure. I didn't think this one through. Oh God, I don't know. I'll say top 3 lifts is like the big 3. I'll just make it like squat, deadlift, chest press because I believe in big, efficient movements. Bottom 3 lifts would be like any accessories that I just don't think are necessary. Like any sort of like, I think any ab workout is completely unnecessary. So I'll just make my bottom 3 like crunches, anything ab related, basically. I'll just put that all into one category.
Yeah.
Moments from your streaming career? 3? Oh my God, that's really hard. Can I just make it like top and bottom?
Yeah, do it.
I don't know if I can come up with 3, but I do know the top and I do know the bottom, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
My favorite my favorite moment for my streaming career had to have been when I got the Infernal Cape on Leagues on the first try. Just because like I made this whole YouTube series about it and like I was planning on like taking a bunch of attempts and like I'd never been Inferno before and I thought it was gonna be so much more challenging and then I just got it on the first try and my whole chat like I was just laughing uncontrollably when I like had that last hit on Zuck and my whole chat was just like Omega lol like what question mark question mark question mark just uppercase ha 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 like it was the funniest like it just I just felt like everybody in the chat was on the same page as me being like what the fuck is happening right now. It was just a good moment. I
That's
loved that.
awesome.
And then bottom moment, oh, I'll never forget this. Okay,
Oh
so when I
god.
first started streaming, I told you I was like working on my quest cape, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I was still really insecure, and I was like, I would like have a drink during stream, and I was just like, it was just kind of a scary place to be. And I didn't drink a lot, like for the record, like I would have like one drink per stream. And this one stream, I was doing Monkey Madness 2, and I did not have a drink. Okay. I was completely sober and I was like, honestly having a bad time because I was sober. And I was like, you know what, maybe I literally was thinking like in the moment that this happened, like maybe I should have a drink, like just to take the edge off. And I'm doing Monkey Madness and I'm like on the platforms, which is just like undeniably some of the worst content in the game. Like, I don't care if you disagree with me, you're wrong. It's bad. And I also like didn't understand pathing at the time, so it was just like a really miserable time. And I'm having a horrible time. My chat is dead. I'm angry. I'm upset. I've been on the platform for like 3 hours at this point. Like I'm just completely miserable. And someone comes in and says, "This is the only chat message that has ever hurt my feelings." Someone came in and said, "Maybe you should go play Just Dance 2 like all the other stupid drunk girls on the platform."
Oh,
And I
God.
like lost it. I like almost started crying. I like ended my
Oh,
stream like 5 minutes
God.
later. Like that for some reason, that one message on that one day just like ruined my life. That was like by far the bottom. I was like, I don't know if I can stream again after this. We're fine now,
Jesus
but yeah, it
Christ.
was just
Yeah.
like it was like the worst thing you could have possibly
Everything
said at the most
stacked up. And it's
vulnerable
like,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. But
It's crazy when you
we'll
look
be
back
okay.
and see a message like that where if you were in a different mood, it would not have
It would have
done
been fine,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It would have been
normal.
fine.
But everything stacked on top. And you're totally right, by the way. If I'm not 100% when I start a stream and the stream starts off a little slow, the viewers are just kind of like barely coming in and it just feel like it's not a great start. And
Yeah,
then
you're like, oh, stream will save me, and then stream doesn't save you, and you're
yeah,
like, oh fuck, no, I'm just stuck in this.
and then somebody says something just off. And it's
Yeah.
probably not even that off, but everything just compounded into that one statement and you're like, fuck you, I'm ending. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm done with this.
Yeah, that was the day that I was like, I hate Twitch. I hate Twitch so much.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll be okay though.
All right. Top 3 or bottom 3. Again, doesn't have to be 3. Male RuneScape streamers.
Oh my god, that's so hard. I don't know. I mean, the top 3 that I watch right now are Lopsy, Qneeks, and Mick Homie. I like always have a tap for them when they're live, at the very least. I love those guys. Bottom 3, I don't know.
Bottom 3.
I would say names, but they'd probably like come after and like try to dox me, and that's why I don't like them. So I'm not gonna
Okay,
name
yeah,
names,
that's
but
probably fair.
there are some people on the platform with bad intentions. That's all I'll say. Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm scared of them though, so I won't say anything. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of them, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth
yeah.
it to name names.
Like they have nothing to lose. Like they'll just
Yeah.
Okay. Prison Joe asks, plans after the Inferno. Will a troll kill you again?
Man.
Why why does everyone want you to beat the shit out of them? And do you view Qneeks as a man or a child? Also, I'll just quickly state, Reed right below that says beat the living shit out of me.
Yeah, it's perfect. They really lined up well there. Okay, I'll start with the beat the living shit out of me part. Why does everyone want me to beat the shit out of them? I think it's because I had like 2 Twitter replies that everybody knows me for now, where I just like once literally flexed on somebody, which was probably the
think I
highlight of my
remember.
Twitter career. Yeah, this guy was like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch. You ain't never been inside of a gym. You don't even know what a gym looks like." So I just like replied with a picture of me flexing, which it was a good tweet. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good tweet. I feel pretty proud of that. But I think that just caught a lot of traction because, whatever. So I think that's where the beating the living shit out of people comes from. But in reality, like I will say, especially now, like I'm not as strong as I used to be, and I did fight when I was younger. In middle school, I got suspended twice from school for fighting, but I'm not really a fighter now. Yeah, maybe I would like just to feel the rush once again in my life, but yeah, I'm not a fighter.
Was it a fight? I know this might be a bit TOS, but did you fight a woman?
I fought a woman once, and then I slapped my ex-boyfriend, and then I got suspended.
Oh God,
He called
what?
me a slut.
That's so I don't know.
So we had like these like vestibules like in between our classes, and he called me a slut like while I was walking by, and I turned around and I just 5-starred him. I just slapped the shit out of him and left like the biggest mark on his face. It was sick. I got 3 days suspension, but it was so worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it. It felt so good.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say like I this is just such a weird tangent. I'll be brief, but like the fact that like in school, I don't know exactly how I feel about this, by the way, but the whole like don't retaliate or else you'll get in trouble in school, like you can't even defend yourself, basically. I find
Yeah,
it.
shut up. Like, that's not how the real world
I know.
works.
I'm just like, really, you can't defend yourself or fight back, and that's like kind of what's taught. And I know there's way more nuance to just like, don't get involved and don't fight back and stuff. But I'm like, damn, sometimes you just got to stick up for yourself and just
Yeah.
slap them.
I think if I learned anything from that, it's like sometimes you just have to fight back better. Like sometimes there is a better choice than violence. Sometimes not being violent is, the stronger message,
That's true. That's true.
but only sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Plans after the Inferno.
Plans after the Inferno currently are I would like to go to Tob. I'd like to get really good at Tob. I haven't really touched Tob yet. Everybody's always asking me to Tob, but I have like 25 KC. But it's just one of those places that I would just rather have an Infernal Cape before I go there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, we'll start, I'll get the scythe and we'll get all that going. And then I really want to do a Tob. I want to do a Tob with both Lopsy and Tasty. So that's definitely a plan. And then I think that maybe soon enough, once I get like 99 Slayer and stuff, I'll maybe get a little bit bored of the main, and not necessarily bored, but I'm just itching so badly to play an Iron. And I've wanted to for a really long time. Like I've started Irons in the past, but I haven't really been able to get that far with them just because, well, for multiple reasons. The main reason was that I never really wanted to start an Iron until I felt like I was good at the game.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I see a lot of people start an Iron when they're relatively new, and it just kind of like makes them get stuck in the mid game for a lot longer than they necessarily need to. Like I'm at the point right now where I definitely could rush Corrupted Gauntlet, which is just really nice to know that I have the skill level to do that and it would be fine. So yeah, that's the plan. I also didn't want to start an Iron for a while because in terms of like my chat, I felt like when I played an Iron probably for a bit last year, I like started playing a hardcore just because I wanted to. And I really didn't feel like my chat enjoyed it. Like when I was just doing quests and stuff, I was bored. I felt like they were bored. Like I just felt like nobody was really having a good time. But now I feel like, especially since I've done Inferno and since I've like done other things where I have the ability to talk more than I do in Inferno, I see that people seem to like when I'm doing something that doesn't take a lot of focus, because then we like really get to like catch up and, I get to like be a just chatting streamer for a little bit, which is always nice. So yeah, I think I'm like almost ready for it. And then once that happens, I want to have a really badass Iron.
Yeah.
So that's the
cool.
goal.
Wait, so would you make a hardcore or just an Iron at the start?
Yeah, I have a hardcore right now. Yeah.
So you would continue that account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I had a hardcore before, and then I killed it for a subathon, and then I started a new one, and it hasn't gotten very far. But I have like bone speeches on it, which is nice, and I have like 60 agility or something. So it has like a decent
cool.
like
Yeah.
amount of, it
Nice
has a
little
good start on it. I think I'm going to like get 99 fire making before I start playing it on stream and stuff like that, just to like get a lot of the chores out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited though. Really excited. I'm not like married to the hardcore, but it just like is better content. But I'm not going to get too emotionally attached to the red helmet.
Yeah, that's
hopefully.
good.
Maybe I say that now, and then when it happens, maybe I will be a little
I
emotionally
think the
attached.
fact that you've already stated that maybe that'll happen to me means it won't happen to you. Those that are like completely like they don't even say that, oh, like maybe this will happen to me. No, they just deny it completely. But the fact that you've even considered that maybe it will happen to you means it won't happen to you. Did I make any fucking sense right there?
No,
Jesus
it
Christ.
does. It does. The fact that I know that it's a possibility makes
And
me
you would
open
accept
to the
yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly. But also like I said that about the group hardcore, and then when it happened, I was so upset. Like I really was really upset. This goes back to this actually goes off of Prison Joe's question. Will a troll kill you again? Honestly, I hope not. But when the troll did kill me, I had like just gotten back from, honestly, like it was like right after my birthday weekend. Like I just got back from a bit of a bender and my serotonin was a little bit low. And I was just like really like very depressed and like not feeling great. And then I came back to stream, and sometimes when you come back after a break, it's great and like everybody's there and like everybody's so excited to have you back. And then sometimes it's just not the case. Sometimes just like nobody shows up, and that's fine. It is what it is. Yep. But it just happened to be like the day that I'd gotten back from a trip where my serotonin was low and I didn't really like myself and I didn't really like streaming, and I killed my hardcore, or like I got rid of one of our group lives like on the same day just because I was like lazy flicking and reading the chat, and I didn't know that the troll could hit a 30 or whatever. So I don't think a troll will kill me again. I consider myself good at flicking now. So and I'll do more research before I get into those situations.
All right. Do you view Qneeks as a man or a child?
Qneeks is a man. Qneeks is not a child. He's a man. He's a grown adult. He's more of a man than I am. He like lives alone.
I'm glad he's more of a man than you are.
Well, true, yeah. He's more of an adult than I am, rather. Yeah. Definitely more of a man.
No, Qneeks.
Well.
Nah, Qneeks is a fucking legend. I only give those that I absolutely love a hard time. And Qneeks.
Likewise.
I popped into Qneeks stream back when he was like a 15 viewer Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's when I met him as well.
Yeah, just like, you know, getting off his feet, a little nervous about everything, you know, but like,
yeah, look at him now.
He's just grown a lot, and
I know.
He knows who he is, and he knows what to do to, I don't know. He's got it down, I think.
And his subathon was like insanely good.
Oh yeah.
I cannot imagine streaming for 2 weeks straight and still being nice.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I admire him.
Okay. Tasty Life asks, will you step on me, mommy? What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't a full-time streamer? Do you have any moments in your streaming career that stick out to you? I guess we've already somewhat covered that. Step on me, mommy. He says that again. And then shout out based. Thank you for making it.
Sure, Tasty. Yes, I'll step on you. No problem. What do I think I'd be doing if I wasn't a full-time streamer? I don't know. Like there's, I'm kind of a person that's like, everything happens for a reason. Like, you know, my life has gone the way it's gone, and I can't look back and hope or wish that it went any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another world in which I graduated from college and like acting immediately took off and I got a job. And then once you get a job, it's just kind of like exponential movement from there. So that could have been a scenario. There was also like a scenario after college where I was really into like the group fitness scene, and I wanted to be a group fitness instructor, like sort of like, you know, have you seen any of like the workout classes where they're like super energetic and like
I just imagine those bikes where everyone's on their little bikes and just like,
yeah, it's like that, like the motivational speeches, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I auditioned to be one of those ones, and then I didn't get it, and then I was like, okay, never mind. But it seemed fun at the time, honestly. Mm-hmm. Just as like a side job. So maybe I'd be doing that. I don't know. There's also, I told you, like I almost went to school for math. I could be like a fucking accountant right now. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I am where I am. I got no clue. But yeah, I mean.
And there's no real stress about it either. It's like if it just got to that point, it's just whatever. Like at that point, I'll worry about it, you know? So.
Yeah. I'm a pretty capable person. I think whatever happens, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be okay.
I guess we've already kind of talked about the moments that have stuck out to you. So I need to just state this. He says, step on me, mommy, twice.
Got it, yeah.
So,
no problem.
Sure. Okay.
Say less.
Okay. By the way, he says shout out Base, thank you for making it. Were you like one of the creators of it, or the sole creator?
Me and Elisa made it.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we try to make it so that it doesn't seem like it's anything that's like led by somebody. We kind of want it to be a community led thing. So I'm glad that you say that you didn't know who made it, because I didn't really want people to know. That's
cool.
I'm like a super type A person, as I said before, and
explain type A, because I'm unaware. I feel like I could just get it from context, but what's type A?
Well, I'm a control freak for sure, and I like things to be a certain way, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm just a very particular person. So sometimes when I'm in a position of leadership, I know that I can be a bit overbearing. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. Like I'm just very conscious of it now that I'm like, you know, an adult, and I know that like people, I know that it's annoying.
Is that part of being a type A person, knowing, like being consciously aware that you are a type A person?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so.
So there are type A people that are just actually control freaks and they don't control it.
Yeah, you know those people, those like coworkers that like micromanage every little move you make, that you're like, why are you even like, this is none of your business. Like, and they don't even realize that they're doing it. It's just like a part of their personality. Yeah. I think I think that I've I think that I've grown enough to know that about myself and know that it definitely has there are some good things about being that way, and there are definitely some really fucking annoying things about being that way. So I just try to be as conscious as I can about it. So when Elisa and I made Based, we wanted to make sure that it didn't seem like we were like these dictators and like we were the only people that got to decide who gets in and like
Yeah.
this was our thing. Like the reason we started it is because we were a part of a different stream team before, and we just didn't really feel like it was like serving us really. We felt like we had kind of outgrown like a lot of the other people in the group, and we just felt like it wasn't really doing what it could be doing, but we saw the potential that a stream team had for everybody's growth. And it just so happened that like that day that I was feeling that way about the stream team where we both were like kind of wanting to leave and wanting to do something else. I think I was in maybe it was like Guns Chili stream or something. And he was talking about like the new age of streamers, like the new wave, like talking about me and Elisa and Tasty and Cuniques and like all these people. And I was like, we are actually kind of a group. You don't really see it when you're in it because, you know, these are just your friends and whatever. But then you realize from an outside perspective that like we kind of are like the new people on Twitch. Like maybe we should make a group out of it. So I think me, Elisa, Cuniques, and like Prison Joe got in a call one day. And we were like, we should do this. Like this would be really cool. Like there's no we didn't really even know what a stream team was for other than like we're gonna make a Discord and like if we want to like do events, we can do events. If we like need to help each other, we can help each other. Yeah. The first name of it was going to be Elisa suggested No Fucks Given. And I was like, that feels a little mean. That feels a little
No
like the wrong
fucks
thing.
given.
Imagine if we were No Fucks Given. NFG, we were going to be.
Jesus
And then,
Christ.
yeah, one day I was like, what about just like Based? And then it just stuck. And now I feel like it's become honestly kind of a huge thing. And like I haven't really done a lot of the work on it. Like shout out Mofo for making the base cord, which has a ton of people in it, and he's like really set up the bots and everything to make sure that everybody streams and YouTube videos and everything are notified, and like everyone's community is like a role. It's really, really cool.
That is cool.
But I think Based has kind of made a name for itself more than I ever expected it to. And yeah, it's been really great, like having all the meetups and everything. And yeah, it's been a really nice way to get a group of people together that are like-minded and have similar streams and have just similar personality types. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
Good.
awesome.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, I really
I feel
do.
bad sometimes. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I feel bad sometimes. Like I feel like people think that we're trying to be like I don't know, like
A
really
clique or
exclusive or
something.
like clicky, which
Yeah.
just like it just really isn't the case. Like I would love to add a lot more people, but we do it in sort of like a diplomatic manner where
Yeah.
we have to vote with somebody, recruit somebody, and then we have to vote on if we think they're a good fit. Just because we saw like, did you see like when Bodhi made the stream team and then it ended up being like 500 people or something, and like everybody was just getting partnered because like Bodhi just offline hosted them.
Yeah. No,
because you just had like yeah.
Yeah, like there's no explanation even needed. I mean, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
You don't want a stream team where every fucking person's allowed, or else it just becomes not a stream team. It's just like
Yeah, it just feels so bad, like
yeah.
saying no to people that ask sometimes.
it's awful.
It's
I am a
awful.
people pleaser. Like
I know,
not
I
a
am
people pleaser to
too.
the point where I'll just do anything, but like I want people to feel comfortable and nice.
Yeah.
And occasionally that gets me into trouble on my stream and stuff when I'm too nice to people and I don't call it out as I see it. But it's like, yeah, no, you need to do these things where you, I mean, as weird as it sounds, vote people in because you want to make sure the community still feels like a community and a good fit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And one of the other reasons that I really wanted, like the main reason that I wanted to make a stream team is because in the first stream team that I was in, we had a channel where we would just like put all the like, it was primarily females in the group. So we would put all the like sus chatters and all the like really like creepy people or anybody that had like, felt threatening or
Yeah.
like weird in any way. So we would just like share their names around so we know who to look out for. So it was like more of a safety thing. And we
Yeah.
still do that in Based. Like we still do that very much. So it really just comes down to like, a safety perspective and just like having people be in the know about what's going on, because Twitch can be a scary place.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I love that the podcast has started. But we need some females on the Based After Dark or Based Before Dark or something.
All right. I think Mofo's doing it. I'll hit him up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that there's like Based related things being made that I don't even know about.
yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah,
and it
it's
just
cool.
feels like the community is more together rather than everyone doing their solo thing.
Yeah, you can always just like have a Discord of, I think there's what, like 20 something people in it now and be like, hey, anyone want to like Tob or something? Like, it's just nice to have that sort of thing where you don't feel like you're bothering anybody. Everybody's making content they all understand.
Yeah. All right. Swift Little Eagle says, I know like everyone and their mom calls you mommy, semi unironically, but how do you deal with it? Does it ever get too much for you? Is it weird when names that you don't recognize say it? That's going to be a little weird. When you beat Reed and Tommy, could you film it? Asking for a friend. Good luck on Inferno.
I don't put too much thought into it. I know that, look, I wasn't born yesterday. I know that like the whole mommy thing has sexual connotations, but at the same time, I do also feel like I am kind of a maternal figure to a lot of people. So like I'm not gonna read into it too much. I think it's funny. I think I am kind of mommy sometimes, you know, I'll admit it. I kind of am. So yeah, I don't put too much thought into it. I don't really think it's weird. I know I don't like stream content that's like sexual or anything like that, but I do also feel like that gives me the liberty to like make jokes that are sexual and like just joke around the same way that like any like male streamer or like any other, you know, streamer whose content isn't based on like sexual content would. I think that people will like read into that more because I am a woman, and people will, you know, if I say one thing that's sexual, it's like automatically like, oh, the chat's like freaking out, you know, but whatever, you know, that's how I talk. It's who I am. Like I've always like made sexual jokes. It's just like part of my personality, take it or leave it, you know? If people want to judge me for that, then that's on them, but I'm an adult and I can joke about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. And sure, I'll film it.
Okay.
I'll put it on the Patreon.
Hell yeah. All right. Whale asks, how did you get so good at barking?
Natural instinct, I think. Yeah, natural instinct. I do like, you know, I've been barking on stream for subs recently, and you know, when it feels necessary, and when it feels good, it does feel good. I would recommend it if anybody needs an easy stress reliever.
I once meowed for subs.
Did you like it?
Not really, not particularly, although it was somewhat liberating.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like barking is different because, you know, cats kind of they hold back a little bit. You know, when you're embodying a cat, you sort of have to be a little more conservative with it. You know, it's a little more coy. Whereas when it comes to barking, like I'm not like a Chihuahua. Like I'm a full like fucking like Rottweiler. Like I'm letting it out. You know, it feels nice.
It's not quite a bark, but I do this really aggressive groaning occasionally. And I don't even know where it came from, but it's just kind of become a thing. Whenever I get a cool drop, it's just my natural instinct now to start groaning uncontrollably.
That sort of thing?
Yeah. No, there's a clip I'll send you. It's bad.
I love making noises like that. I do it all the time in my day-to-day life. Like when I'm alone, if something bothers me, like the other day, I like sat down on my computer, I just made an energy drink, and then I sat down and I spilled it all over the ground. And just always like it just feels so good to be like, oh, like just like fuck. Like when no one's around, I'm just like screaming at myself.
See, but it's really nice. It's that kind of like freedom you feel when you do it in front of a live audience. And then it's like, wow, I just did that. And it wasn't like the worst thing ever. Like the reactions weren't that bad.
Yeah.
And so then
Sometimes
it's like,
you have to remember you can just be yourself. It's cool.
Yeah. It's really nice.
It's nice when people let you.
And it's also nice to know, like, I don't take myself too seriously. If I want to just do some weird noise or say something weird, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when you first start streaming, you sort of like hold back on all that sort of thing, and then
like everything was roped off. Do not do this, you'll embarrass yourself. Don't do that. It was bad. And you're overthinking everything.
My one of my most viewed clips is my least favorite clip of all time because you literally see me do that in real time in the clip. So I'll just send it to you. I get a draconic visage. Actually, fuck. Yeah, fine, you can play it.
Is there music in the background?
No, there's no music.
Yeah. All right.
I'll show it to you. It's
horrible. I'll show it to everyone.
It's so embarrassing. So I get a draconic visage, and then I say, "Oh, I got a draconic visage." And then the way that I react makes me like cringe internally so much that in this same clip you also see me be like, "That was so weird. Why did I say that?" It's just like, oh my god, it's such a roller coaster.
All right,
It's horrible.
Let's watch it.
I've been kind of holding off my Iron Man for it, but I kind of.
Oh, there is music. I lied.
But it's copyright free.
Is it copyright free?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see when it starts doing the thing. But if not, we'll just
play
mute
it. You don't have to play it.
We are playing it. I am gonna watch this, and I'm gonna just embrace the reaction.
I've been kind of holding off my Iron Man for it, but I kind of want to make one. Well, you'll have to make a new account anyways, so Grady, you might as well. Ooh, juice. Oh, I got a Draconic Visage. Oh, my first unique. I don't know why I reacted like that. That was kind of weird. Oh my god.
I love how it doesn't, like, nothing about that was cringe at all, honestly, to me. But the fact that you, like, called yourself out on it is exactly what I would do. It's just like you say something, and you're like, that didn't sound like what it should have sounded like. And so you have to, like, backpedal and be like, sorry, guys. Just pre-apologize for everything.
I know. I just immediately am like, that was so weird. Like, oh god, it's horrible. If I could go back in time and change anything, it would be that clip exactly.
But that's the thing, is like you need that. And we were talking about this before. Was it during the cast, or it must have been before? Talking about how I look back at past Sae Bae cast and I'm like, holy shit, this is unbelievably cringe. I can't listen to myself. That means you've grown, I guess.
Yeah, you see how much you've grown from that. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I don't think I second guess or backtrack my reactions the way that I used to. But every time something does happen on stream, I do have a moment of being like, wait, what is the clip going to be like? You know?
Yeah.
Do you do that as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's not like I'm not judging it. It's just I'm like, wait, this is going to be on Behe. Like, what did I say? You
know? Nah, I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I just saw the same person die at solo subs twice in a row, just so you know. Just had to say that out loud.
So, one thing I've noticed, so when I look back at my old clips, first of all, I don't have a beard. And that's pretty much the only real difference. But I look younger, and then I do just really weird things. Like I seem very vanilla. Just don't be too crazy. Don't be too wild. Don't do certain things. Like, keep it cool. Don't be cringe. You know, constantly in my head, don't be cringe. Do not be weird, champ. No. But yeah, I look back at past clips. Like when people link past clips in my chat, I'm like, I can just tell based off of like how long ago it was. I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking viewing that on my own stream, even if somebody asked me to. It's like, you guys can watch that on your own, but don't even tell me that you watched it, because it's just gonna make me embarrassed for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets worse and worse, by the way. 2 years down the line, when you're still streaming, you're gonna look back at like these super old clips and you're like, oh my god. Because you will have just changed inevitably.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can already tell that clip is only from a year ago. Yeah. Like, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
I think maybe, hopefully, I mean, when I first started streaming, I could not stand the sound of my own voice. I couldn't watch my own clips. Like, it just all made me so uncomfortable. I've gotten better about that now. Like, I don't really mind it. It's still, I find it really awkward to, like, if I ever have to, like, watch my own VODs without volume. Like, I had to do this, I did the sponsorship recently, and they made me, like, clip the ad readings. So I had to, like, go back in my VOD and, like, find the right place. So I would have to watch, like, minutes of my VOD, which I never do. And I was like, oh God, like, why does anybody watch this? But then, I don't know. At the same time, you are also kind of like, okay, it's maybe it's not that bad. You just have to see yourself from an outside perspective. And it's also, if you listen to anybody's VOD without music, it's awkward.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely. Like, do you ever see yourself in a side mirror, or like put two mirrors up next to each other and you see yourself from a more like just a different perspective, how somebody else would see you, and you look different?
Oh, all the time.
And it's like, no people see me like this? What the fuck? Yeah. Like, because you only ever see yourself just like fully facing front generally. And then you start seeing some other views of you and you're like, damn, that's me. That's how people see me.
I try not to think about what I look like as much as possible. I just try to avoid the thought completely. I'm serious. Like some days, like, it's not even, I'll be about to go live, and it's not even that I think I like look bad or anything necessarily. Like, that's not really something that crosses my mind. It's just like, I just don't want to be looked at right now. I don't even want to be aware of my appearance. I wish I was just like my thoughts and not anything else. Life would be a lot simpler. Yeah, I was talking to Nicole last week, and just like looking at yourself in the OBS thing, and you're just like staring at like the go live button. You're like, Jesus Christ, like, am I doing this right now? Yeah.
Like make sure everything's good to go,
Mhm.
and you're just like look at yourself and you're like, this ain't good enough. Like
Yeah.
change something.
Yeah.
No, I mean that is first off, I just gotta say, I'm very happy that I'm comfortable enough with my appearance that I can go live with a face cam. I'm really glad because it is just a really great addition to a stream that keeps
For sure.
viewers there. Um, and I am slightly envious of those that have made it without a face cam, because I'm not gonna lie, the few streams I've done without face cams are extremely nice and comfortable. But sometimes I'm like, is comfortable really what I want? Sometimes being seen and, seeing your embarrassing moments and stuff is what makes everything really fun and exciting and stuff. And not having
Yeah.
that, you almost have to overcompensate with your voice. And then that is a little stressful, I could imagine, like long term. But
Yeah. I think in an ideal world, it would be nice to just have the option. I think it would be nice to like just go live some days without a face cam and not have people be like, why are you doing this? Like, why no camera today? What's wrong? You
yes,
know,
that is,
that's the only issue. It's
yeah.
like, for me, I've never done a camera without a face cam. I've never done a stream without a face cam. And I don't think I ever would, just because I think like the mass amount of questions
Yeah.
would not, it would just even out. Like, I might as well just,
No,
fucking-
literally the few times I've done, like I've even done mic-less streams like twice ever, where I
love a good radio stream. I love watching them.
it's just a radio stream, and then I'll get the questions like, are you gonna turn your face cam on? Like, are you gonna do this? Like why are you doing this? Or like what are you doing? Like, just like, god damn it. Like,
I know.
I was in the like I was in the moment. I was like, this is gonna be a cool stream because I'm feeling it, and then all of a sudden I get some like questions about it. The entire stream is like, oh, your face cam ain't up. And then I'll have people that are really blunt and like, oh, I'm out. Like, you don't have your face cam. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I know. Isn't it so funny how like there are these things that as a streamer like you would never ever ever say in a stream, and some people that are even like decent chatters that have been on Twitch for a long time will
that.
still say these things like, oh my god, like you have 100 viewers, like oh my god, things like that. Yeah.
I don't think they ever fully understand until you're a streamer, because
it's good intentions for sure.
Yeah, I think I was the exact same way. You don't know like the proper etiquette, and again, it's not really etiquette. It's just,
it is etiquette.
Yeah, I guess so. You don't really
I think it's gotten
understand
to
it
the point
fully
where there's a
until you've streamed and you've seen that end. But even if you've been a viewer for 5 years, you still don't fully understand.
Yeah.
I mean, because you would think as a viewer, if all of a sudden you like your favorite streamer got rated and they're normally at 100 viewers, now they're at 500, like you would just feel like this is a cool thing to say. Like, wow, like you have a lot of viewers right now. Like that, how could that ever be seen as wrong or uncomfortable or anything? But the streamer feels uncomfortable.
Totally. Yeah, it's just an
can't
uncomfortable thing.
understand it. Yeah.
Oh my God, I had the funniest thing happen recently. I failed a 24-hour stream because I got really sick, but I think I had like 400 viewers or something, and then I DC'd, my stream died, and then I came back and I had I think 180, and somebody was like, wow, 180 viewers, and I was like, oh my God, I just lost over 200 viewers, and like, oh my God. Fuck. I'm lower than my normal average right now. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable talking about
Yeah, I just don't like thinking about it.
Yeah.
I remember the time too when I was pushing for partner, and I was like, I think my average for 2 weeks straight was 74.5 or something like that. And I just couldn't help myself. I just kept constantly being like, oh, good, I'm at 90. And then I'd look back and be like, oh my God, I'm at 68. Like, should I end the stream? It's so fucking stressful when you have to worry about the numbers.
Worst. It is the worst.
It's terrible. I really do not feel bad. I really do not envy anybody in that position right now.
Isn't it funny as well that you're never fully satisfied with the view count either?
Oh, no.
It's like,
well, that's the thing. It's like, I've gotten partnered now, which is great. I've been partnered for a while now, but now I would really like a manager, and all the managers that I'm looking at want you to have around 250 CCV. So that's okay, well, that's the real goal now. And then once that happens, it's well, that's still a pretty small stream. Obviously I'd want to be 500, you know what I mean?
No, it's seriously, I remember my first stream that I was consistently at 40 viewers. I am holy fuck. Anything above 40 at this point is amazing.
Same. That's how I felt.
I will never feel sad if I am above 40. And then all of a sudden you get to 70, and then you get to 100, and then it's oh, I'm back in double digits. And then it's you know, I'm around like 150, 250 area, which I'm fucking blessed to be at for the
Yeah.
first place, because it feels like I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing back when I was a 40 viewer person. And it's like, I have this weird sort of thought, like this bad thought that's eating me up. It's like, oh, everyone's going to leave if you don't like do something different and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it just, you never feel quite satisfied. And then you get a big host where, you know, you're pumped up to 500 and then you drop down to 300 almost immediately. Like, damn, this is so depressing. It's like, you're at 300
200
viewers.
People really think I'm that bad that they clicked out. Yeah,
but
I
it's like,
know.
you're still at 300. Like, how can
It's
you
all
ever...
relative.
I know. Everything's relative.
Yeah, it's just the reality. But
It's funny.
yeah, it is. It's yeah. I mean, somebody once told me that like the work really does start when you get partnered, and at first I didn't believe them, but then I was like, oh yeah, like the time before when I was like under 75 now feels like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It all
Yep.
feels so small in comparison. Whereas when I see people at 75 viewers, like they have a like crazy active chat, and that is a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
it's all your perspective just gets so skewed after a while.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
But I guess it's good that we're always striving for something better. It's just the hard part is when you don't think that what you have is good enough.
Yeah. The best thing that could ever happen is just slow, continual growth. And there'll always be like ebbs and flows and stuff. But like, yeah. I think a really cool number to see is like your follower count, because it almost never declines. Like maybe you lose a follower or two, but it's like, it's always something that's like, oh, this is a nice metric to see just constant growth, and it feels good. Although, yes, that's not the determining factor how successful of a stream you have, but
Of course, but it is number does go up, and it is nice.
that's what I really
And then-
love about YouTube. I was just gonna say is like just the idea for me of YouTube. It's just a project. It's just something I do and I enjoy it, and there's no monetary stress. It's just I upload shit, I get some feedback, I upload exactly what I want, and I just see the number of subscribers grow, and it's just like, oh, this is nice. It's like nourishing a little plant. It's like,
Yeah.
it's growing.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like monetizing YouTube sounds really nice in theory, but my YouTube isn't monetized right now, and like the idea that people have to put out videos like to meet certain ad dates and things like that, that sounds unbelievably stressful. Whereas doing like sponsored streams is whatever. You just go live and you do it. It's no big deal, you know, but having to like put out a piece of creative content that's like finalized that you feel confident about, that sounds I mean, I can work under deadlines. I'm used to it, but for some reason when it's like your own thing, it's just different, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like it's a little piece of you.
I'm kind of excited to get to the point where I could potentially get a sponsorship on YouTube.
Heck yeah, I'm excited to see that too.
They just seem nice. It's just like, put a little teeny 30-second thing in your video, and I don't know. It's just, there's something nice that's not terribly intrusive. Something like that. I don't know. Just the fact that somebody wants you to like advertise for them, it's kind of flattering in a way. Maybe that's just because I'm a small creator and I've had few opportunities for it, but it's
No, it is cool. And I think that like the ads themselves on YouTube are always nice. And I really like when people find a way to like integrate something creative or something funny or whatever. A lot of people, especially I think in the RuneScape community, have gotten really, really creative with them, and they're really good. Like all the way that like Torvesta and Framed like always integrate their ads in their videos. It's just genius. And it sounds like it would be really fun to like figure out a way to make it seamless. But I think the only part that would be really challenging is making the actual video in time.
Yeah. The other thing I really look forward to is potentially getting a sponsorship that I love, you know, just a product I
actually really rave about.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's not even a chore to say nice things and make a really fun, creative segment on it, because you just love the product or service.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Well, I hope it happens for you soon.
Yeah. Well, there's no like huge need or anything, but I've always thought like, that'd be kind of cool one day.
That would be cool.
I think for YouTube, sponsorships generally start after you've hit like 50K subs and stuff.
Right.
So it's a while.
Yeah, YouTube is really big numbers.
Yeah.
In comparison, like the numbers on Twitch feel so small when in reality I don't know, it's not really the case, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lopsy's got a few questions. A lot of them are kind of repeat questions, so we'll skip a few, but most memorable memorable based meetup. And favorite clip on Twitch and wanna be roommates. I think those are the main ones. If there's anything else, feel free.
Me, Nick, and Lopsy are all talking about moving in together, Cuniques, at some point, maybe next year, which I think would be really fun. I would love. They're like my best friends, and I would love to live with other streamers. It would be really cool. So I hope that happens. Yes, I do want to be roommates. Just I also want to live at home until I have money.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least till I'm not worried about it. I think the most memorable based, I mean, they've all been memorable. I feel like the most memorable base meetup was Austin, because that was our first time really coming together after we had made based, and that's when I first met Lopsy, I first met Tasty, I first met Cuniques, and those have like become some of my closest friends. I first met Mofo too. It was just really cool. So we all went to Austin because Whale saw that Boris was playing, so we all went to go visit and see Boris together, and it was just great. Like Zulu was there too. We met up with Nine right after. It was just really cool. Like there's a lot of RuneScape people that are in Texas, so we all just kind of conglomerated, and it was really neat. And at the time, I think that Zulu and Nine had like just finished filming Gillinor games, so we had to we were like probing them with questions and stuff too. It was really cute. It was the first time that I was like, whoa, I'm a RuneScape person, huh? And it was really fun, obviously. Seeing Boris was sick. Zulu bought me Zulu bought everybody like these like $6 waters. What a legend. So nice. Just keeping everybody hydrated. Just like had a whole handful of them.
Hell yeah.
It was cool.
Favorite clip on Twitch?
Favorite clip on Twitch. I have two, I think. One of them is a Lopsy clip. I'll grab it for you. And then the other one, I'm sure you know, is the 420 streamer, Never Give Up. You know what I'm talking about?
I have seen a plethora of 420 streamer clips, and
it's the one where he like tanks 2 Zuck hits or whatever.
Dude, I just remembered the clip of him actually getting his Infernal Cape, and it was like, you could just tell by his reaction. He just started screaming, and you could just tell by his reaction. He's like, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up. I should not have gotten the cape, because that was like what he was known for.
That was the end. Yeah. That was the end. It's so fucking funny. Okay, this is I don't know why this clip makes me laugh so hard. It's just, I think Lopsy's one of my favorite streamers. Like, his timing with everything is just so like nonchalant and perfect. And this clip makes me laugh so fucking hard.
All right,
there's no music, don't worry.
Let's give it a look.
Also, head phase, I've yet to proc a root.
The timing is just so good.
Also, head phase, I've yet to proc a root.
That is so funny.
Like, you can't watch that clip and be sad.
For
I don't
those,
know. I just love it.
For those looking on YouTube, it says Ruby Dragon Bolts. There is no E. I know it's clipped off at the end. There's no E, so they just didn't have a Ruby proc chance.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's just the timing of when he realizes it's just so perfect. See it. Should I pull up the 420 streamer one as well?
Show it. Let's see it.
For the people that don't know.
Oh my god.
Is it the 420 streamer?
It's gonna give me fucking PTSD. I unfollowed him like 2 years ago, or whenever he I unfollowed him really shortly after. I was over it. I was over the milking, and I was so fucking pissed off for no fucking reason. I just unfollowed, and I was like, I don't want to see this
anymore. I understand. I wasn't around for it, so I've only seen the clips after.
Oh, there's no music in this one, it was like, okay, let's watch this first.
I don't know why this.
What? Run energy! No! No!
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie, like, he's one of the most entertaining people, but he was so out of it, just baked out of his mind every fucking stream, and it was like there was no getting through to him. It was like talking to a wall. Just like, dude, stop milking. And then he would be like, all right, guys, you ready? And you start playing his little fucking song again. Like, god damn it. I was freaking out.
It was genius though. Yeah, I heard that he
Oh.
would like go live in the
Oh, yeah.
morning and then do the run and then get to Zuck by like lunchtime and then do Zuck at like 9
Milk.
p.m.
Yeah, just endless milk. I'm like, dude, it was giving me an aneurysm just like looking at
I'm
it. I'm
sure
like,
if I was there for it live, it would have been a different story. But the clips are so funny to look back on.
Oh, they're glorious.
I don't get to see the bad parts. I just get to hear about them. But that clip just kills me every time.
Good shit. Okay. Qneeks asks, what is your favorite part about playing Iron Man game mode? Biggest inspiration to you in your life / content creation career? Why did you let me beat you at an arm wrestling match at Tastegiving? And rematch when? What are your favorite Crocs? Are you high right now? Do you ev?
Do you ev? Yeah, I ev. Thanks for asking. Okay, I'll start at the beginning. My favorite part about playing the Iron Man game mode, I like look, not everything, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that everything that I do has to relate back to being a woman, but sometimes it does, okay? And sometimes I feel like my accomplishments are very much diminished just by the fact of my gender. All right. It's just a fact of life, unfortunately. And I feel like Inferno is like one of the first times where I feel like people have really taken me seriously. And I feel like people have just like genuinely been complimenting me, and it hasn't been like, oh, you're good for a girl. It's been like, oh, you're actually good. Like, that's cool. And I feel like Iron Man is kind of, hopefully will be the same way. I found that like when I was doing like stuff on the group iron and stuff like that, it just feels like nobody can help you with it. Like these accomplishments are purely my own. And I am a very independent person, and I like having a lot to be proud about. So it just feels like it's going to be a nice way to feel like very confident about my game abilities, and just have pride in the drops that I get and have pride in the grinds that I do. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm sure you understand. I think we talked about biggest inspirations before, in terms of streaming, but yeah, I don't know. My friends also inspire me a lot. Honestly, people like Qneeks that I get to talk to every day. It's honestly really inspiring to find that people feel like the same hard parts of streaming that I do, even when I watch their streams and it seems like they're totally okay. Like Qneeks is like by far my number one cozy stream to hang out in. Like if I'm having a bad night and Qneeks is live, like I'm cured. Like that place saves me. I love his stream for that reason. And sometimes I'll talk to him after and he'll be like, oh, I feel like I had a bad stream. Like I'm not having a good day. Like I'm feeling kind of lost in life right now or whatever. And it's just it's really reassuring to hear that somebody else feels the same way that I do, while I also enjoy their content. Like you don't have to be feeling 100% to put out decent content. So that's really nice. So yeah, shout out to Nick and all my friends for that. I let Nick beat me in an arm wrestling match because we honestly, believe it or not, he and I are equally as strong. Like I actually was putting forth my best effort. I just got tired. So I was like, you can win this, whatever. Like I'm not, he won fair and square, and we can rematch TwitchCon for sure. He really did win fair and square. Yeah, Elisa, I think, just started doing a pool stream, and then Prison Joe yelled at me and Qneeks to arm wrestle. So if Prison Joe yells at you and tells you to do something, you have to do it. It's just kind of the way that life works. My favorite Crocs, I wear these Crocs all the time that are white, and they have a million gibbets in it, and they have the ones I'm wearing right now have like a bunch of Fortnite gibbets in them. They're great. I love them. They're really obnoxious.
Are Crocs comfortable? Like
yes. I wear Crocs. I have like 3 pairs of Crocs. I actually wear them like every day.
Are they comfortably are they comfortable because you're used to them, or were they comfortable off like just your first time ever wearing them?
Well, I wore them a lot in like elementary school because I'm from Florida and it's like always muggy, and it's just kind of a nice shoe, like especially if it's like raining outside, you can get them a little wet. It's no big deal. It's just like a good like water shoe and regular shoe. So I really did grow up like wearing Crocs, but I started wearing them actually when I was living in New York because my last apartment was a basement, and my floors were tile and they were so fucking cold. So I wanted a shoe that I could just like slip on and, was easily washable, nothing gross. I like that they're like plasticky and I can just put them in the sink and wash them off whenever I need to.
Yep.
But yeah, they're actually really comfortable. I have some fur lined ones for when it gets cold. Sometimes I wear them during stream when my feet get cold because I'm nervous. They're just a nice all around shoe, truly.
So if you were to would you recommend wearing Crocs if let's just say you were going on like a 5-mile walk? Just
No.
hour and a half? Like, is that just not worth it? Just like, no, absolutely
It's a lounge shoe. You can wear them like running
Okay.
errands. I wear them like to the airport because they're really easy to take on and take off, things like that. But they're not like a walking shoe by any means. Yeah. I like running shoes anyway, so.
Yeah, I have 2 pairs of shoes right now. I got one. I made a mistake. I got these Nikes that are just like they're running or they're like they look like athletic shoes, but there's no laces. That was a fucking mistake.
I know which ones you're talking about, I think.
Yeah, they look nice. They're like white and then they have like little black things coming up, but they're just like slip-ons kind of. And I'm like, I can't run in these or I'm going to fucking sprain my ankle. So now they're my walking shoes. And then I have some really nice, like, tied up shoes that I can do like running and exercising in, which is nice.
Do you like running?
I like okay. I don't like to sprint like in the moment.
I know what you mean. I like sprinting.
Yes. I think
I'm a sprinter.
like if I sprint, which by the way, I'm completely out of shape when it comes to sprinting right now. But I really appreciate what it does for me and how it makes me feel at the end and like just every fucking benefit. Like it's like a legit like strength workout for your whole body. And that's what I appreciate about it. Running, so I used to run in college and I used to actually run like my first year of streaming. I would just go on runs and it's just like, damn, it was so hard to push myself.
Yeah.
Like you would hit the 3-mile mark and you're like, all right, I'm bored. Like this is fucking boring.
Yeah, I can do like a 5K. That's kind of that's pushing it.
That's all it would ever equate to. Like I had a little lap around my house that was about 3 miles, and then it's like you get to that point, you're like, should I do another lap? Nah, fuck that. I'm bored. And you just go. And I'm like, this just felt like a calorie burner, but it's not gonna have much consequence throughout the rest of the day. Whereas sprinting, like you do like, 8 sprints or something in like a 20-minute period, and then you're just like burning calories for the rest of the day. You're just
it's great.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like to like high effort for a few seconds and then get over it. Yeah. I also feel like when it comes to running, if I'm in really good shape and like feeling great, my lungs are healthy, my body's feeling good. I feel like running you can really feel how good you feel when you're running. But on the flip side, if you're in like even slightly bad shape, like if like one of your hamstrings is like 5% too tight, I'm just so conscious of it when I'm running. And it just makes it so unenjoyable for me because I'm just way too aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed with running, senior year, I was like really into running. Like I was playing lacrosse, and then at the end of my lacrosse practice, I would literally go on like a 4-mile run around my house and like around the neighborhood. But I loved it because I was in decent shape, like probably not the best shape. I think the best shape of my life was like my first year of college, but like in high school, I felt like I had a lot of stamina and a lot of energy. And so I'd run, and like running on a treadmill versus running outside is night and day. Like if you're on a treadmill, I run for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I am so bored.
I'm so bored. Yeah.
Like, this is the worst. But when you're running outside, like cars are passing. So you can't look like lazy, you see a car pass, you're like, all right, I got to like show off, sort of like go hard, like keep going hard. And there's always cars. So you're like, it's
exactly,
you just feel like you can't stop, and that's a really good thing to have. So
yeah, when I was in my best running shape, it's when I was living in New York City. So like obviously I was just like passing hundreds, thousands of people on the sidewalk, and I didn't want anyone to think I was a loser. So you gotta keep it up. Yep.
But that's good.
It's the best motivation.
Cool. Yeah, it totally is.
Also, it was like so scenic and nice. Like I'd like run by the water and stuff. It'd be really great.
Yeah. Now, I would love to, what I really want to do? I want to get into swimming, but I just don't want to fucking go to a public pool. Like,
I love swimming. I used to be a competitive swimmer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually just bought the gym that I go to now. They have a pool. I'm scared to go in it. I don't know why. I'm not scared of public pools by any means. I don't care. I'm just like, I'm just scared to like put on my Speedo and my swim cap and like go with all the old ladies and like do my laps. But I think I'll get over it soon enough. It just feels like a really big thing as opposed to just like walking in and lifting my weights and walking out.
Yeah.
But swimming is great. It's like, it's so good for your joints. And
oh, yeah.
You're sweating, but you're in the water. So like you can't tell how hard you're working out unless you're completely out of breath.
I grew up in Oregon, and there was this lake that was just unnaturally warm. I mean, it's still a cold lake, but felt good to jump into. It was like refreshing. I was like, oh, it's not like ice. Yeah. And I was like, dude, if I could just live on a cabin, like live in a cabin next to this lake, and just being able to just jump into the lake in the early morning and just have it be somewhat a little bit of a hint of warmness and just go on a little swim. Like that would just be so good for me, just mentally, just everything about that. Being able to jump into a lake. It's not a fucking pool. It's not a public pool. You don't have to deal with anybody else. You just do your own thing and it's wide open. Oh,
I love lakes. I unironically think I'm going to be one of those people that later on in life, I have one of those lake house that's like all decked out and like lake life. Like I live by the lake. Like don't talk to me. I'm at the lake. Like decor. Like I love lakes so much. I used to work at this, I worked at this resort in Maine for 2 summers that was right on this huge lake. And oh my God, it was just the best thing in the world. I love it.
I would also really love to live next to a beach. But beaches, any nice beach is extremely populated. It's just like you can't just be there by your own. Or can
so
you?
Well, yeah, you can, honestly.
Okay.
I've lived like at the beach my whole life pretty much. Yeah. And like while there is always going to be like, you know, the public beaches that are super crowded and, you know, big parking lot and all that stuff. I feel like every place that I've lived that's had a big beach, you have to like be in the know, but there's usually like smaller beach accesses or like you go behind a hotel, you know, you find your way to find a beach that's pretty secluded. It's easier than you think once you've like lived there a while and you know the ins and outs, you know.
Yeah, like Oregon coasts were just so fucking cold and there's always just gross seaweed and dead stuff on the shoreline. Like, god damn it, this is disgusting. But then like I went to Miami last year. Oh my god, the beach was just like, I was just thinking, oh, if I could just wake up at 7 a.m. and just walk out to the beach. We literally were on the beach and we just walk out there and it's empty in the morning and just being able to like jump into the ocean, like, oh my god, that would be nice. So freeing and just nice.
Thanks for reminding me. I probably should go to the beach soon.
Beaches are amazing. Yeah.
I'm only like 15 minutes from the beach, but it's just like the whole act of like, I don't know, when it's like if I go to the beach on the day that I stream, I feel like I'll be too tired from the sun and then I gotta get back and wash my hair and like it's just a whole thing. And I'm not an early riser, so I'd have to be late. Like it's just kind of a thing. But
yeah, you're totally right. Living on the beach is just like, whew,
that's a different story completely. Yeah.
You probably get sick of it at that point. Potentially.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it would like lose its novelty after a while, but I don't think anybody would ever get sick of like forcing yourself to be in the fresh air.
That's true.
Yeah. Nature will never really get old.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. You know what? I have not seen the stars. I mean, like a full night sky of stars in years. And so we wanted to plan a little camping trip this May, but I made a goal to stream every day. So, but June, I think my brothers and I are gonna like just go out and camp. Imagine that saying that fucking word. I haven't camped in so long, but
I love camping.
Me too. I just haven't done it in so long, and I'm like, I want to just lay among the stars because I remember campouts as a kid and just looking up in the sky and like, damn,
there's a lot of those. And then when you start to learn constellations and you're like, ooh, that's the Big Dipper. No, that's the Big Dipper. No, that's the Big Dipper. And then finally you figure it out. Those are good times.
It just makes you seem so small. You know, you're just like this small little animal on this little
We're all
planet.
just little specks.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy to like see a picture of the Earth to realize there's like 8 billion people and yet you look at the Earth and you're like, you would just think nothing's on it. Like just there's no people.
I know. Sometimes I'm having a really bad day and then I'm like, I'm just a speck. I'm just a speck. Like, it's fine. It's not that deep.
All right. Nick, as his final question asks, are you high right now?
I'm not high right now. I don't really smoke very often.
Yeah. I guess now I was going to bring up something more fun. Megan asks, can I meow for you in a Discord call? I'll pay top dollar for the privilege. Damn, you would get paid to get a meow. That's intense.
I've never wanted anything more. Yes, of course, Megan. Literally anytime. You can call me any hour of the day. I will answer. I'll put you in the favorites, all right? I will never miss a call from you.
All right.
I would do it for free, too.
Oh, God. Mick Homie says, G. Is that the gorilla emote? I know in the game it is.
Yeah, in game we always... So I'm in his clan, Homies, and we always do, instead of GM, : GM.
Oh, hell yeah. Like
Gorilla
colon G
colon G
space M?
space
There
M.
we
Yeah,
go.
Gorilla M. Yeah, GM.
That's badass. Any variety projects planned for the foreseeable future? How did you come up with the name Zoepancakes? And favorite and least favorite things about the OSRS Twitch culture?
Mm.
Good questions.
Variety projects. So Mick has been playing variety games with a bunch of streamers and they're super fun. In terms of variety games, I don't have much planned. I did like a Minecraft server for a little bit. That was really fun. But I think it kind of goes back to the YouTube thing. I really want to do a bunch of cosplays that I'm in the process of planning out. And then I have some ideas for YouTube series that I think what I want to do is try them out on YouTube first because they're more like commentary style things and just kind of get comfortable with the format. And then if people like them and they want to see it, then I'll happily do them live on stream. But the reason that I wouldn't want to is just because I cannot stop myself from like just reading every message in my chat sometimes. And for a YouTube video, I would really like more like straightforward commentary where I'm not interrupting myself. And that's just going to be hard for me at first. So I just want to try it out in the YouTube format first, and then I'll bring it to stream if it works out. So yes, but we'll see. As far as the name Zoepancakes, I actually get this question a lot more than you might think because I don't like pancakes. That's not where it came from.
Flapjacks, as Fat
yeah.
Clouds called you. Zoe Flapjacks.
Yeah, I like that name. That's a good nickname. Chloe Flapjacks is my alter ego. And whenever I'm being a bitch, Tasty's like, "Uh-oh, Chloe's coming out." But yeah, the name Zoepancakes came because I used to play The Sims a lot as a kid, and there is a character in The Sims called Eliza Pancakes and the Pancake Family. And Eliza's like this girl, she's like mid-20s, she has glasses, she's like intelligent and like flirty, but also like hot-tempered. And I just like when I was a kid, I was just like, I'm Eliza, like that's so me. Like that's just I identify with this character. So it's one of those usernames that I've just like had. I think maybe I had it as like one of my gamer tags or something when I was younger. You know how you just have like maybe like a couple of usernames from your youth that just like sit in your back pocket?
Absolutely.
And then when I started on Twitch, I was like, fuck, like what am I going to be named? Like, I have no idea. I really do like when people call me by my first name because it just, I don't know. I think it makes it more personable in that way. And I personally like it. So I wanted to incorporate that somehow. And then I couldn't just get like the clean name Zoe in any way. So I was like, you know what? I have Zoepancakes. Like, I think it's cute. Like, it's like from The Sims. Like, I don't know. I was like, I just feel like it like checks all the boxes and what I like in a name. I don't know if I like it anymore, but we've stuck with it for so long, and the branding is so easy because of the pancakes. So we'll see. Unless I can get the name Zoe, it'll stick around.
I was gonna say, why didn't you change it to like X
Dude.
Zoe Elite X or something?
My
like that's what it
God.
should have been.
You're right. Actually, maybe it's not too late. I'll change it now.
I remember when Megan,
name...
speaking of Megan, just in the past thing, or when her name was Yogi XX.
Yeah.
Just like the X's, man. It's just such a iconic
really
early
is.
2000s username, just the X's, and it's like X.
I wonder if it's different for British
X.
people though.
Yeah.
Because for British people, the
true.
X's are kisses. So maybe it was like Yogi Kiss Kiss.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
Because I know Yogi is her old dog's name. So
I know.
It was like a Yogi.
Yeah. And I don't think Yogi's name in particular, like Megan's name in particular, was the X, because it would have been XX Yogi XX. You always got to have the prior.
Of course.
But
yeah. Guardian Destroyer XX. Yeah. Were you around on MySpace for that time?
I made a MySpace. My brother was more into it. I feel like it was more of a, I think MySpace kind of ended at like year 1993, babies. That was like the last kind of generation that really had it. That's my opinion. Who fucking knows? That was me growing up in Oregon. But I feel like 95 babies were an up. 95 to like 99 were the Facebook babies that all like really jumped on Facebook pretty early. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was on MySpace, but I was a little bit too young for it. But I also was like, on the internet from such a young age that I like, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
So I still got to be a little bit of a scene kid, even though I was in like 6th, 7th grade, but I got to live out my fantasies.
Dude, I miss
good times.
I miss Facebook, where like you go to middle school. I remember coming home, going on the family computer, logging onto Facebook, seeing all my friends and getting suggested. Do you remember whenever you added a friend, you had to type in a fucking like make sure you're not a robot thing. Every single friend request, you would have to type out a fucking 6-digit code, some random bullshit, just to prove that you're not a robot. Every single
Yeah, I
request.
remember them being a lot on Facebook. I just don't remember specifically what they were for. But yeah, they really, really made you prove that you were a person.
Oh yeah, but
Which is hilarious because I feel like now it's like all fucking hacked accounts and bots and all this stuff.
spam everywhere.
I don't even know what's on Facebook anymore. I'm not touching that thing with the 10-foot pole.
I know, like, Elon Musk bought Twitter, and I think one of the things he wanted to do was make a thing where you just pay a small fee to be on the platform, like $10, and it gives you, like, a new check mark that prevents bots and spam and fake accounts from, like, messaging you or anything. So you would just say, I only want to receive anything from people with these check marks. So people won't multiply these fucking bots that don't have this check mark. And so it just completely almost prevents bots and spam and shit, which I think is a fucking brilliant idea.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. I don't know, the Twitter bots are so interesting. Have you ever heard of the podcast called Reply All?
No.
It's probably like one of my favorite podcasts. It's a sort of tech podcast, but it's just like I think they call it just a podcast about the internet. But they have this series that's called Super Tech Support, where basically like somebody will call in with something weird that happened to them on the internet, and they will go try to figure it out. And one of the episodes kind of recently was about this like weird. Somebody was making some comments about some political thing, and then they just instantly got like bot spam by like thousands and thousands of accounts.
Jesus.
So the two people that run the podcast like went and figured out who was behind the bots, like how, like where did they come from, like why are they doing this, like what kind of people are like the faces behind all these accounts. And it's super interesting. I find I'm kind of intrigued by that stuff. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to get bot spammed at some point just to maybe do my own super tech support and figure it out. Just kidding, please. If you're a bot and you're listening, I didn't. No, never mind. It was a joke.
Oh god.
Twitter's a weird place, though.
Oh, it is. All right. Favorite and least favorite things about the OSRS Twitch culture.
My favorite thing about the OSRS Twitch culture, and I think the thing that would make it hardest to ever leave, is like just the mature. I mean, okay, you might laugh when I say this, but the general maturity of the community and there's like really a familial aspect. I feel like everybody knows each other. Everybody is older. Like I'm so glad that I'm not, my target audience is not children, because for the vast majority of people on Twitch, it is. And I would fucking hate to talk to kids all day and try to
Oh
pander
my
to kids all
God,
day.
that'd be
What a nightmare that would be.
bad.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I could not imagine dealing with that. Yeah, I mean, the sense of community is just really unparalleled. I feel like there are very few other communities on Twitch that are quite like RuneScape. And we're very lucky for that. And I know that it's kind of the curse of the category too, that sometimes you can't leave it because those people, as generous and nice and wonderful as they are, they don't really want to watch anything else. So I guess in the same vein, my least favorite thing about the Twitch culture in old school is I feel like I think a lot of people are unaccepting of change and as open as they say they might be to like new ideas or streaming different things or doing something that's sort of out of the box. The second you actually do it, it seems like the support kind of goes away. And I know that it's like, you know, a pipe dream for anybody to be completely on board with like every idea that you have. But I think just in general, the community could be a little bit more like empathetic and more open to change.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. There's
What do you think? What's your least favorite thing? I'm curious.
about Twitch
have one.
OSRS culture. I think this is just, it's not even specifically this community or anything. I think I've brought this up, is just like the beating a dead horse. And it's generally with like people that made a mistake in their past. And
Yeah.
OSRS people, and it again, this is every fucking community on earth. Like, you have these examples of people that fucked up, and then it's just the meme for the end of time.
Yeah.
You can never
That's
move
really
on from it.
true.
Like, I just think of Emily with the cancer
Yeah.
thing. I don't even fucking know if she did that. I'm just taking people's word for it. I was not there. I don't fucking know anything about it. And I just immediately, as soon as I started streaming on Twitch, that was a thing that was always brought up, like the Emily cancer thing. And so I just jumped on the bandwagon blindly, like, yeah, like Emily, we all hate her. Let's join in on this. Like, I don't even know anything that happened with that. I just went along with it. And then the more I realized it over the years, I'm like, why the fuck am I being like this? Like, why am I just blindly accepting, just basically hating on a person that fucked up years ago? We're talking like, I don't even know, 7 years ago at this point or longer. I don't even know the full situation, and we just all jump on it. And then that kind of shit bothers me because I just feel bad for the people behind it, because they're just these people that are imperfect people like everyone, and they just are endlessly, like, that horse is beaten day after day for years on fucking end, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not a fan of Emily personally, just because you can make all the mistakes you want in the world, but if you're not gonna at least either own up to them or just acknowledge that you need to do more to remedy what has happened than what you're doing. And then if somebody tells you that you need to put a little bit more work into it and then you get defensive, I just feel like that's not really a good way to go about things. But I think the issue really lies in that the OSRS community, I think that there's a really fine line between jokes that are funny and jokes that are mean. And a lot of people are just straight up bullies and think it's funny. Whereas I'm you know me, like, I'll make an edgy joke. Like, I don't care. I try not to hurt anybody's feelings directly. I try to avoid that as much as possible. And I think that's really hard when it comes to humor, to like walk that line.
Oh, yeah. No.
And I think that people are bad at it, and that's totally fine. But it just seems like a lot of people have bad intentions when they just beat that dead horse, for sure. As opposed to, like, you know, I think it's one thing to like make a joke for content, whatever, like Emily W. Check, like, that's not hurting anybody. But if you're like gonna go like target her and like fucking like don't do that. Like, be a normal fucking person, even if somebody makes a mistake, even if you don't like them, like, just treat people with respect. It's fine.
See, and I think I've brought this up multiple times. I almost feel as though I'm overcompensating, because I really do appreciate comedic value in making fun of something or somebody. But there are people that live on the internet, and I'm saying, like, they do not go outside ever, and their minds are fucking warped to the point where, like, they will just ruthlessly harass and bully and shit, and people take things to the next level. I'm like, what was we were having a fun time joking around, making fun of somebody. That should be the end of it. A few days pass, it's back to normal. But no, it's like, we need to fucking keep going on this, and people are just obsessed with. I'm like, damn. And then I feel as though I'm overcompensating because, you know, I've been on the receiving end of, not the receiving end of that, but like, I will get like a message from somebody that's really having a bad time with, you know, getting bullied. And, you know, everyone's idea of bullying is a little different. If somebody makes fun of you, that's, you know, sometimes it's warranted and stuff. But like, I feel as though I'm overcompensating with a lot of this thing, because like nobody else seems to, I don't know, I feel like it's taken out of proportion every fucking time. So I need to somewhat take a stand and just say, I think it's inappropriate for a lot of the time those things get way out of hand and become inappropriate. So, but
it also puts you in a hard position where you're like, I would love to joke about this too if we all could just be adults for like 2 seconds. Like, if you all could actually be funny and like actually make like a good joke, as opposed to the joke just being like, haha, you're so stupid, I want to come to your house and kill you. Like, that's not a joke. Like, that's not funny.
I desperately want to just have fun. Something's funny, fucking laugh at, but it doesn't end there. And so now I almost feel bad for even jumping on anything now, which is fucking awful. It's like buzzkill. It's just like, damn it, I want to there's something really funny, but I don't want to now be a part of this that now extends for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we just like never move past this.
It really is the epitome of like, this is why we can't have nice things.
I know, that's exactly what it is.
You're really just gonna, just a few people just ruin it for everybody, and then all of a sudden the joke is like too sensitive, and it's just like, okay.
I know. And I sometimes have to like take a step back, and I'm like, I don't want to be the party pooper, but I just like, this shit gets taken too far every fucking time, it feels like.
Somebody has to, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, Thomas asks, again, a lot of these things we've already covered, so feel free to I'll just read each one though. Best and worst parts about streaming. Do you prefer roaring or barking? Why? Favorite best content in RS. After dropping Zook and beating the living shit out of Reed, beat me to a pulp next. Jesus Christ. Ultimate RS goal. PVM god, owning an infernal Maxscape, owning a great iron, hardcore Iron Man, etc.
Yeah, I can't even remember if we like touched on all these yet. I'll just like quickly go over it if we haven't.
Yeah, go for it.
Best and worst parts of streaming. Best part is definitely like my community, and just I'm a pretty lonely person, honestly, and I'm pretty introverted, and like having time to socialize that I have designated to be the time to socialize is just perfect. And I feel like people really care sometimes, which is really, really great, and more than I could ever ask for. And yeah, like I said before, like it's nice to feel like you've made a little bit of a difference in somebody's day, even if it's just keeping them company or whatever. And then the worst part is just feeling like you can't do that. Like, I think that's part of the reason I want to like do a lot of YouTube stuff too, is because sometimes I just feel like I'm not fit for streaming. Like I'm not in general, but you know, like it's just, I'm not in a good mood. It's not a good day. I don't feel like socializing. I know I'm going to be short with people. I know I'm going to be snippy. I know I'm going to like be banning people left and right if they get on my nerves. And days like that, it's like, if you only stream and you don't even have that, it's like you feel like you have nothing, you know? If I don't have my personality, then like what do I have? If if I can't click the game well and I'm in a bad mood, what do I have? Like I offer nothing. So it's just that feeling of being like, if you're not live, then you have nothing going for you, I guess. It's just in like disappointing people. We talked before, I prefer barking. We explained that. Yeah, we went over that. Best content in RuneScape, I really, really, really like Inferno, and I really do see myself doing a lot of it after I get the first cape.
That's cool.
I've been enjoying the fuck out of it. Obviously,
It's
like
so much better
the
on
deaths get
task,
frustrating, but yeah, but like seeing like I remember like watching Ali do like the no pillar Inferno. I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like I would love to do something like that someday. And like I mentioned before, like my content has always and will always revolve around getting better at the game in whatever way. So I mean, hopefully one day I'll be like, you know, fucking soloing top, no pillar Infernoing. Like that's the goal eventually. And
That's cool.
I hope we get there. Yes, I'll beat you to a pulp. No worries, Thomas. Got you anytime. But yeah, I mean, I guess the ultimate RuneScape goal, I don't really know yet. I think that I'm going to keep playing my main while I'm playing my iron, and I'll probably like slowly work on maxing while I'm doing the boring stuff on the iron, like the Slayer grind and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'd love to have like two really fucking sick accounts. Like I do want like a maxed Infernal Cape main. And I do really like collection log stuff, and I'd love to go for like a bunch of collection slots at some point, but I also would like to have a super juiced out iron. So I got a lot of goals.
That's cool.
I'll just see what feels the best.
Okay, I literally love this next topic. My Heels Hurt says, someone who watches Twitch but hasn't heard of you asks for you to describe your channel in 3 emotes. What emotes do you choose?
Oh, fuck, that's hard.
Escape. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not escape. God damn it. Poggies. I think why people happy. I feel like I have a why people happy stream. I'll say that. I think I also have Scoots. You know Scoots?
Oh yeah. And there's one guy,
Yeah.
Salmon Sounds. I think
Yeah.
he is obsessed with that emote, and he spams it every time in my stream, and I fucking love it. It's adorable.
He's fucking awesome. Yeah, he's big in my stream, and I feel like I see him use my emotes on Twitch all the time. It's so nice to see somebody like use your emotes
I know,
on a chat
it's
that they don't even
flattering.
know you're in. Yeah, it's really cool. I'll also go with Monka S. I feel like I do a lot of Monka content, especially in Inferno recently. I'll just like do something and we'll be like, that was a Monka moment, now wasn't it? So I get out of my comfort zone, do some scary things. So
Mine
I'll
is
go with those 3.
mine are definitely Pug Please, I would say is first.
Damon DJ.
I can't quite
No?
say Dame and DJ. I almost maybe Sae Bae DJ. You know, I got my own little DJ mode, but I wouldn't even say that. I'd say Pug Please is what I'm always forcing people to type. I'd also say Sae Bae H is a massive one.
I love Sae Bae H. Such a good email.
Everyone Sae Bae H's, and then I want to say Wide People Happy because I have a command where people redeem Wide People Happy, but like I can't say if that's like a I don't know. I don't know what the third
I know
one
it's
would
so
be.
hard. It's like, what do you want people to type, and like, what do you think your stream actually is from like an
Yeah.
outside perspective? That's a hard question.
Oh, it would probably be Sae Bae DJ if I just had to like. Yeah.
I just associate your stream with trans.
Yeah.
Like that just, yeah. But I don't know. It's different. What you associate with whatever you associate it with.
Yeah.
Also, I should let you know that Sae Bae Meow is my favorite emote on Twitch. Period. There is nothing that tops it.
I just love that it's literally like a Sag emote. It literally just replaces Sag if you want it to. But it's also like the little meow guy. I don't know.
It's Peepo sad, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. I just feel like it, just like, especially because I'm always talking to Uncle, and Uncle's always talking about cat girls. Like it's just applicable in every situation. I love Sae Bae knowing.
I love it.
Such a good emo. That's a good question though.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Hanny asks, not specific questions, but I'd love to know about your diet gym routine in a non-invasive way.
Well, this is kind of a loaded question, so I feel like I should like start at the beginning, I guess. So I like grew up in dance for a while, and when you grow up in dance, like especially when you grow up in ballet, there's always going to be a lot of comments on your body and a lot of comments on your appearance, and you have to look a certain way to do the thing. So I always thought growing up that like I had to be skinny if I wanted to do, musical theater or like any sort of performing as a career. So like that was kind of a really big thing for me growing up. So senior year of high school, I started going to the gym a lot, and I got really into powerlifting, and I really enjoyed that. Like the actual like exercise aspect was really, really cool. I really do like lifting heavy things, and I got like super strong, and that's when like I really started liking the gym and stuff. But at the same time, I also was like really obsessed with what I was eating. And it got to the point where I would count like every single calorie, to the point where if I didn't know the nutritional facts for something, I wouldn't eat it. And there was another point where I had this app that is really, really horrible, but it's this app where basically it's kind of like Twitter, but you have to, or like Instagram, I guess, and you're supposed to take a picture of your food every time before you eat and post it and like share it to your friends. So you're not supposed to eat anything without posting a picture of it first.
Interesting.
So I could only like, it just makes you like aware of when you're like snacking and stuff, I guess. But I weighed like 120 pounds at the time. Like I had no need for this, but I just wanted to be skinnier. So yeah, it's called orthorexia, when you just become like really obsessed with every calorie, and just there was just a point in my life where my mind was like completely run by food. Like all I would think of is like how long can I go without eating? Like what when's my next cheat day? Like when am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? And it got to the point where it really like, I was already depressed, but it made my depression so much worse because I was just obsessed with it. Like the only thing I would think about was food and working out, and how many times a day can I work out? Like, oh, like I have a day off on Saturday. Maybe I can go to the gym for 4 hours. Like I just got really obsessed. So that's really not healthy. But
Isn't that weird though, that like it's almost like a gray line where, because I sort of dealt with that in senior year. I'd never had it extreme. I think girls generally have it more extreme than men could have it on a wide spectrum. I think just women deal with it more. But like I also was dealing with that. Like I was I remember downloading MyFitnessPal and just like I wanted to be in great shape, and part of that was like eating really good, and I wouldn't ever eat sugar and stuff. Like my senior year was like a totally different me, and I started getting obsessed with it, and I realized how quickly this obsession can just
it takes
become
over your
everything.
brain completely. It's
crazy. It's quick. It's just like as
It's
soon as you
so
start doing it, you
fast.
start seeing it, it's like, how am I going to get out of this? Because it's like,
Yeah.
this is just life now.
The second that food just turns into calories in your brain, it's like it's all over. It's like that. It just feels like you're never going to get out of it. And I would argue that it is just as bad for men, honestly. Like I think the obsession is just as bad, but I think that the difference is that for women, it's like, generally in the media, like women are supposed to be thinner, so the focus is more on eating as little as possible, whereas for men, it's like on building as much muscle as possible. So like as much as you can be obsessed with it, it is like a more sustainable way because you just have to an ideal men's calorie goal is much higher than an ideal woman's calorie goal. So like you're not like stopping your like major bodily functions by getting obsessed with it. Usually, I mean, obviously there's like anorexic men. Like I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just saying generally like the goal isn't to lose as much weight as possible, where it is for women, which is just like, you know,
just starving yourself. I mean,
yeah.
I have a little sister, and I feel like almost just it's almost like inevitable for girls growing up to experience this just because of the internet and social media and shit. Because like my sister as well, like just felt the need to just eat very little for like a year in high school. She just felt like really like sensitive about the way she looked and stuff, and it's just like, damn, this shit's bad
really
because you don't.
Like, it is.
You don't understand, because like my sister was. I don't think she minds me saying this, but just.
I don't know her. It's okay.
Yeah, like she wanted to become like a vegetarian and stuff because she knew like
it always starts with a vegetarian. Yep. Oh my god! Wait, I saw a TikTok the other day that was this girl being like, "Oh, my 12-year-old sister just said she wanted to become a vegetarian. Like I know how this story goes. Yeah. It always starts with vegetarian."
Yeah,
it's so funny.
So of course her vegetarian diet was equated to her starving herself, and then when she would get cravings, it was Oreos and Cheetos and random carb related just diet. And so like her hair started to thin and started looking like it didn't look vibrant. It just looked gray, like this, like she just lacked so many nutrients. And my mom just forced her to not be vegetarian anymore. And I remember they literally just went to this like chicken I don't even know what the place was, but she got like a chicken sandwich, like, you are eating this right now, like you need this. And then she was like, okay, and she's just crying eating this chicken sandwich, and she's like, okay, I'm not vegetarian. And but it's scary, especially when you're young. And also I have this I had a somewhat of a dream of becoming a nutritionist when I was in high school, because I took a nutrition class in high school, and I was like, why the fuck isn't this taught? Why isn't this like in the basic
right,
whatever the word I'm thinking of is, like, why isn't this just taught? It was the most valuable information I ever learned in high school, in schooling in general, because it just directly applies to your life forever. Learning about food and learning about fats, carbs, proteins, look at just seeing stuff and knowing how to read a nutrition label. Like, you are not taught that. Unless you take the elective class, and it's like, damn. So.
Yeah, I guess in a way, like I'm kind of grateful that I became so obsessed with it for a little while, because maybe it had to happen. You know, like I know so much about nutrition now, and I'm really, really happy that I'm on the other side of it now, and I eat whatever I want. I haven't thought about calories in a really long time. Like they're the only thing I've ever thought is like this morning I was like, oh, like we're gonna be talking for a while, and then I have something to do after. Like I should eat like a pretty big breakfast, and like I should eat like fat and protein before we talk, so I'm not like a zombie. You know, it's like I see it like that now, whereas it used to be like just so obsessed with it. But yeah, now I can like look and be like, okay, like I haven't had enough protein today, like maybe I'll have like an extra piece of chicken for dinner, or like, you know, I haven't you know, had enough veggies today, like I'll make some extra broccoli. Like it's just I did it for so long that I know what the macronutrients like kind of generally look like in my head, that I have like a basic idea. But it's like if you don't have that information from school or from something, it's like the only way you can learn is the hard way. There's no easy way to learn it. Like nobody's gonna like go Google like, oh, like what macronutrients should I eat, and then they're like, oh great, yeah, like I'll have 100 grams of protein today, and then not count it. Like there's no way to do it other than to be completely obsessed, or you know, learn in an unhealthy way.
You're totally right. I mean, that nutrition class that nutrition class led me into being really obsessed with counting calories and doing all this. Now I'm way more relaxed now, and I actually just appreciate, especially recently, because I'm just finally starting to realize I'm not young forever, and I'm getting older. I need to take care of my body. But now it's just like fuel. Like, what do I want to put in my body that'll make me feel good, instead of it all being calorie based? Just like, let me eat a normal amount of food, and I know what that looks like, where I'm not overeating, and I know how it feels when I start feeling like I'm overeating. And just eating things that are nutritious and will make me feel good for my stream and for, you know, after my stream and stuff. And
exactly, yeah.
It's more about feeling
it's
now.
Like it's brain food now. Exactly. It's like I really need that. Yeah. But
and just
No,
one
go ahead.
last thing is just not eating before bed. That is a terrible habit that I've just built up for so many years. It's just like
Oh, I eat
eating.
before bed.
I can't do it anymore. And I can do it, but I choose not to now because I'm like, dude, every fucking morning I wake up and it's just like, I feel groggy if I ate an hour before bed. I genuinely
makes
do
sense.
feel groggy, and so I need to stop doing that.
I've tried a bunch of different ways. I actually think I like eating right before bed. I try to eat like a carb right before bed. I just feel like I sleep better. I have a lot of sleep issues, and
Oh, okay.
eating carbs before bed has just helped me. There's like some study, like if you eat like a complex carb before bed, something, I don't know. Apparently it's good for you. So something like oatmeal or something is good before bed, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist. Don't listen to me. It's just
No, I
what I've
mean,
read.
and everyone's different too. So like,
Yeah, exactly. You just find what makes you feel the best. At the end of the day, like it's just the time of your eating is not going to be the be all end all.
So this was a question. I am scared to mention this because I feel like it's going to go on for weeks if I keep addressing it. But Zulu wants to know: Do you scroll with your index or middle finger?
I'm a middle finger scroller.
You're the
And I
first
think
person.
I know, I think I'm in the minority, but I
You
just
are.
think it makes the most sense.
It does
I'm
make the most sense,
sorry.
but it also makes sense for you to drive with your right foot and brake with your left foot. Or wait, the opposite.
I don't think that's true
I-
because I don't think it's okay, well I know what you meant, but I don't think it's intuitive for your feet to be that close together and also already on the way. So if I'm especially in a game like RuneScape where there might be a situation, let's say I have to like zoom out and like cast barrage on a nibblers, I can zoom with my middle finger, right click with my ring finger, and click on the monster with my pointer finger.
See,
and then I don't have to move my hand at all.
That is the problem. As soon as your ring finger is on the mouse, that is a problem for me.
Think so?
That is fucking unnatural. I'm trying to do it right now. It just doesn't feel
Well,
right.
I also have really small hands. And if I have my ring finger actually cannot get off of the mouse. Like if I'm like spreading my fingers right now, and my ring finger is still like on like it's still on the right mouse
Okay,
button.
I see.
So maybe I just need like a tiny mouse to feel normal. But yeah,
Do
my
not have
finger,
a
I don't
tiny
have a-
tiny mice. Fuck your wrist up. At least they
Really?
do for me. It's
What kind of mouse do you use?
I use a Razer Mamba Elite, and I am
Oh, I like
obsessed with them.
those. I like those a lot.
I love them.
I just got the Glorious model though, and I really, really, really like it.
I was kind of tempted on getting that one. I heard it
I
was
have
like,
super sweaty hands,
oh yeah.
and it has the honeycombs in it, so it's
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Is it looks extremely light too.
It's so light, and the clicking sound is just. If you're somebody who likes like I have like brown switches on my keyboard, and I like that really crisp clicking sound. I think it's really
click,
good.
clack. Yeah.
It's not loud. It's just here. Wait, can you hear this?
Oh yeah, that is satisfying. Just,
Yeah, it's nice.
but it's
It's
like,
nice.
yeah, gentle still.
It's just like the perfect music to my ears.
Okay, so Huge Ass asks, does she like pancakes? And then Scape asks, why do you hate pancakes so much? And then Hemsky says, do you like pancakes? What's the best in slot filling for pancakes? And why do you hate waffles? Jesus Christ.
Wow. Oh wow, that's a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, so I like pancakes, but I don't like love pancakes. I just always say I hate them because I do prefer waffles. As I said before, my name has nothing to do with the actual food, just has to do with The Sims. I've never really been okay, so this maybe started during my like weird like fitness obsessed phase, but there is something that I found that I still think is true that I do use to this day. Apparently, if you have a sweet breakfast, you're more likely to have sweet cravings throughout the day. Whereas if you have a savory breakfast, you are less likely to crave sweets. And I used to have like a huge sweet tooth to the point where it was just like really fucking annoying. Like I would end every single meal and be like, oh, I need a little dessert now. Like I cannot end my
Yep.
meal without a little treat. And it's just, it gets annoying. And like if I
Yeah.
don't have the right treat, then I'm just like craving something that I don't have. It's like, it pisses me off. Like I don't want to be somebody who craves sweets forever. It's like, it's really a burden. So
with you
I
there.
don't really eat sweet breakfast unless like maybe if I go out for breakfast, I'll get like something savory and then like me and a friend will like share a short stack or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find like more than a few bites of pancakes or anything like that just like completely nauseating. Like it
Oh yeah, no. And as a
body just
kid, it
doesn't
was
do that.
amazing. I mean, if I had
Oh, yeah.
waffles or pancakes, or I mean, generally I like waffles more than pancakes. But it's like, damn, if I had
Yeah.
waffles for breakfast, I'm chilling. I obviously have insane cravings, but now as an adult, holy shit, that is just like destroys my entire day if I eat.
Right? Yeah, you feel nauseous after. I have
Yeah, it's
no
like,
energy.
okay, I'm
Like,
time to fucking take a nap at 9
yeah.
a.m. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, I'll do pancakes as like a sweet side accompaniment to a larger breakfast, but I won't have pancakes as like a standalone meal.
if I want something sweet, it's now like yogurt, berries, and nuts, or like,
Oh, you're really good.
yeah, it's like something. By the way, that's literally what I had for breakfast today. Listen, oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's this that vanilla Greek yogurt. I can't even remember the brand right now.
Chobani.
Yes, Chobani. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's Chobani. It's those little cups of it, the 4-pack, and I pull one out, put it into a bowl. Chia seeds, cinnamon, pistachios, raspberries. And then
Oh, that sounds so good.
I mentioned the cinnamon part, just a little bit of cinnamon. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I used to do something really similar, but with local, like I think I would do blueberries and a little bit of granola and hemp seeds and then local orange blossom honey. So good.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I love a little yogurt parfait.
yeah, they're just like, it's just good, and it's good if you have that sweet tooth. If you don't have it, I try to avoid it because I'm like, I still feel like I'm gonna get some cravings maybe.
Yeah,
Eating
but when
the
it hits, it
sugar.
hits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the
I've been
way,
eating breakfast tacos for like the last few years pretty religiously, and I can't really stop.
ooh, yeah, breakfast tacos are fucking good.
I'll literally just make eggs and put it on a tortilla with salsa, and like that's it. That's all I need. Cheese too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the sweet potatoes. Like I've been waking up really early lately. Not the past couple days, but the week, like a couple weeks before that, I was waking up at like 3 a.m. and I just go
What the fuck?
just immediately preheat the oven, and then I would just roast a bunch of sweet potatoes, and they just get so
Damn.
crispy and so soft in the middle. And then I'd make some eggs and just have sweet potatoes, eggs, and then
Oh,
like,
that's so good. Yeah.
some little like veggies or something. Oh,
Yum. I used to make a sweet potato hash that was kind of similar, and I would just do it in like this big pot and just fry up some bacon and onions and a bunch of tiny little sweet
Oh.
potatoes, and then put some eggs over it with hot sauce.
See, I can't buy bacon anymore. I think bacon just negatively affects my body. Maybe it's just because
That's
I
fair.
overdo it. But I fucking
Yeah,
like
maybe.
I love bacon.
I love it too.
I love it, but I have to just avoid it now because it just makes me feel greasy. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
you can
know
also
what-
try maybe buying like a pack of like prosciutto or something so
What's
that,
that?
you don't have to worry about it going bad. Prosciutto is like a different type of ham. It's like a really fatty ham. And it's used in like a lot of like pasta dishes and stuff that would kind of like, they're kind of interchangeable in a lot of dishes. So, I mean, but that you can buy that one as like a deli meat, so it might last you longer, and you could like go to the deli and get like a quarter pound or something.
Yeah,
So you don't have to overdo it. I don't know.
I like
Just a thought.
couscous, but I
I love couscous.
but I like Israeli couscous, the pearl.
I was just
kind.
about to say Israeli couscous.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I used to be a prep cook at that resort that I was telling you about, and we had this salad that we would serve. It was a salmon salad with like the freshest salmon you've ever had, Israeli couscous, this like really, really fresh spinach. It had cranberries in it, and it had this like beautiful like lemony dressing. Oh my God. I dream about that salad like literally every single day. I fucking love pearl couscous. I'm passionate about pearl couscous.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
that
good.
sounds so fucking good. Okay, so I want to get I've tried with basic I'm literally zesting my lemon with a fucking knife, but I need to get a zester because I have finally discovered how amazing lemon zest is on
Hell
like
yeah.
salmon or just chicken or like and then putting it on a bed of couscous with some like with some roasted zucchini. Oh my god.
Yep, you get it. Yeah, get a zester. Go on Amazon. They're like $1.
I know. I'm still like dumb. I still think like I'm starting to finally understand like I can just make delicious meals and like fancy
can.
delicious meals. And I just always thought that like I just wasn't capable.
No, the hardest part is just figuring out what you want to make. That
Yeah,
is like
that's literally
90%
it.
of the battle for me.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I go on Pinterest sometimes for meal ideas. It's pretty good.
Okay. Getting close to the end. So let's cover this one. Zia asks, if you had to pick your fave in-game pet, what would it be? What's the most enjoyable PVM content for you? Looks like we already covered that. Raids 3 reward thoughts. And then he also puts in parentheses, Sae Bae vegan mukbang win. And I will cover that as soon as we cover the other 3.
I'm excited to hear about that. Favorite pet in game. I have my Hellhound out right now. I really do love my Hellhound. But otherwise, I would say my dream pets are probably Bloodhound and Puppetile. The classics. Everybody loves those. I also really like the KQ pet. Those are probably my top 3. And then, yeah, enjoyable PVM content. I mean, I said I liked Inferno, but I also really like Corrupted Gauntlet, and I like collection log stuff. I really do. I like watching it, and I like doing it myself. I don't feel like my account is at the level where I could like base anything around it, because I'm like my total level isn't very high. I haven't done very much, but when I do start getting to that point, I am really excited about it because I really, really do enjoy watching it. And then I honestly haven't looked too much into the Raids 3 rewards. I'm kind of trying to go in as blind as possible because me and Ditterbitter and Lopsy have this dream of just walking into Raids 3 and knowing absolutely nothing. And I just feel like it'll be one of the most fun streams I'll ever do. So I'm trying to go a little bit blind. But from what I've seen, it seems like everything is just kind of like small upgrades. I honestly don't really remember anything right now. I like the artwork.
Yeah, Masori seems really cool. It's just like the upgraded Armadillo.
Right.
And like that just seems really nice because it just has so many uses, because it's also best in slot mage defense, which means like it replaces Carols everywhere, and that just sounds really
so
nice.
Like Dude, it's so nice that the Barrows meta is just being completely run out of the game every day. Fucking love it. Fuck Barrows.
Literally, like, why the hell am I still using a 2004 or 5? I think it was 2005.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people now just do like the Crystal Armor and the Mystics. I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people just go without it, but yeah, it is nice to see. I don't know. I honestly haven't looked at the rewards since they initially announced them, and I was just a little bit overwhelmed. I listened to the podcast like when the old school RuneScape stream, like when it first came out, and I remember liking a lot of them, but I haven't really looked at it since. I'm trying to go in as fresh as possible, and it seems like they're making a lot of changes anyways. I'm just gonna wait until they really announce what's coming out.
Yeah, and plus their big ticket item is supposed to be this 2-tick wand that differs in speed, and it's like that whole weapon. I am supposed to be up to date on this shit. That is the most confusing weapon I have ever seen in my life.
I thought the same thing too. Yeah, I remember hearing about it being like what is it? It's like 2 ticks, then 2 ticks, then it's like 1 tick is like a special. I don't really understand.
It's weird.
I remember being at like 5 with like 2 in the middle.
It's like 2-2-2-4, 2-2-2-4. But if you did like 2-2-2 and then you stopped attacking for 8 ticks, then it resets and goes 2-2-2 again, and then it goes to 4. And then on top of that, every spell book has a different unique effect for the wand. And it's just there are so many things going on. I'm like, holy fuck. And then
I think that's why I don't have an opinion. There's just too much going on.
The craziest part is your mage your mage strength bonus and accuracy doesn't have anything to do with the wand. So like, again, this makes no fucking sense, but apparently Ancestral doesn't even do anything to the max hits. The wand has
regardless
its own.
Of, like, what monster you're using it against?
I don't even know. It is the most confusing thing of all time, and so I'm like, whatever. We'll get it, and we'll just find out what the hell it is.
Yeah, my thoughts are that it's overwhelming, and I'll look at it when it's finalized.
Yeah.
I'll wait to understand it till later. It feels like rocket science at this point.
Yes. Okay. Looks like I'm just kind of going through it. Looks like we've covered pretty much everything, and some questions were kind of related to other things we've already talked about. But do you have anything to add before I ask my couple questions to you?
Trying to scroll through and see if we missed anything that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I wanted to just finish off Hanny's question really quick. Just about the workout thing. We talked about diet, but I just wanted to tell Hanny specifically, and like anybody who's going through like a big change in their life that's like trying to get super fit, that my life is like focused on balance now, and I know that when a lot of people like start their fitness journey, they think that they have to like go really hard and go to the gym every day and change their life completely for it, and it's just not the case. You're gonna hurt yourself more in the long run if you do that.
Yeah.
So I work out like maybe 4 days a week now. And on the days that I don't work out, I try to go on a walk or something. If I don't, great. I try to go to yoga every week. I try to go to ballet every week, switch it up, not get bored. That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to actually just say a little bit more on that actually about like just wellness in general in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I mean, for the past few years, like I have had my healthy phases. I've had my like more chubby stages where I just like stopped
Mm-hmm.
caring as much. And I'm finally getting to that point. By the way, like I don't like to really address these kind of things because I don't know, it's just not about like it's not related to my content, and generally my social media stuff's about my content, so I don't really share personal things, but like I've lost 15 pounds since December, and
Nice.
I'm like happy about it because I just made very simple changes
Mm-hmm.
that have just seriously improved my quality of life. Like not even just weight wise or anything, but just like happiness levels of just
Yeah, I think that's really the key.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome. Congratulations.
thank you. And it's nice. And I am excited and optimistic about the future because the little teeny changes have made a difference in 5 months.
Yeah.
And
I think that,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're
I
yeah.
think that the problem a lot of people run into is that they like really go
They go
really hard
hard.
in a
Yeah.
super unsustainable way. And then I think going hard in an unsustainable way is like what made me have my really unhealthy relationship with food, and what me had my unrelationship my unhealthy relationship with fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're living in it right now, so you know it's like small changes that are sustainable that won't make too much of a
Yes.
change in your daily routine are really the things that are gonna change your life the most.
Yeah.
You know,
And the cool thing is you just keep adding onto it in your own
hmm
time.
when it's
And
comfortable,
yep.
you don't always have to be pushing so hard outside of your comfort zone. It's not fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the other really important thing I've kind of seen in my own life is just like writing it down kind of.
Mm.
I like went on a long walk last week and I was just baked. But I like those walks. I just like walk around and just there's like a really scenic view
Yeah,
next
I
to where
like
we
it too
live.
until I feel like the clown is chasing me, you know?
Yeah, I don't get any
Otherwise, it's
clowns
good.
chasing me, but I get really introspective. And I just remember having this really distinct feeling like I am very happy right now. Like I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. I'm not sitting down on the fucking couch eating a pizza right now. I'm just like, I'm doing something that's actually good for me. And I wrote it down because I was like, I want to just write down how I feel right now and just to remind myself, don't don't do something that's actively just causing just damage to your body. And it's not necessarily damage to eat a fucking pizza, but it's like this ain't getting me to the spot I want to be at. Like I feel like most people want to feel comfortable in their skin. Just feel comfortable, feel confident, and if you don't have that, life gets a little bit sad because
Yeah, it's hard.
it's just like, yeah, it's hard to be like happy in a social environment when you're not feeling the greatest, or you feel like fat, or you feel like, I don't know, ugly and stuff like, but I don't know. I think I had some realizations like I want to be happy, and part of being happy is feeling confident in your body. And so like
Yeah.
that is what I always try to look at in the future. Just like whenever I want to make a bad mistake and like order donuts and shit, I'm like, nope, like let's think about the long term.
Yeah,
And
you just don't want to have your body be on the forefront of your mind when you're trying to spend time with
yeah,
people or anything like that. It's just not enjoyable.
yeah. And
It
it
shouldn't take away
helps.
from your life.
And it helps with everything in your life if your body is feeling good and looking good.
Yeah.
Everything else in your life comes into place. And I will say about the cravings thing, like I had a bad DoorDash habit, and I have not ordered any food for almost 6 weeks now. I've deleted all the
Nice.
apps.
I
And
remember
just,
you talking about it on one of the recent casts, I think.
I am so proud of myself. And
Let's
I'm not,
go.
I try not to say too much about the things I'm proud of, but I'm very, I'm proud of myself because that resistance test of like, order it. And I'm like, nope. And you
Yeah,
finally
say it loud and
resist.
proud. That's awesome.
And you know what the cool thing is? There is another option. That pizza does not have to be the one thing that will cure everything in your life if you have a pizza. It's like, no, you can just go and eat a normal meal and feel satiated, and then you're good and you don't have the thoughts anymore. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Also, it's like if you're living a balanced lifestyle, like for me, I found that if I was getting in like sort of like binge eating sort of, moments, I would find that if the food wasn't fun anymore, it's just like it felt like the only comfort that I could get was from like sitting down and like eating a pizza on the couch, when in reality it's like it didn't really make me feel any better. I felt like shit about it after.
Yeah.
But now that I just don't see food that way. It's like, I eat, normally I eat to fuel my body. And then if I want a fun meal, it's exactly that. It's a fun meal and I don't feel guilty about it and I feel happy about it. And you can treat yourself. You should treat yourself. Like I give myself a treat at least every day. And then when I want to ball out and eat a whole pizza, I'll do it and I won't feel bad. And it just makes life a lot more enjoyable overall to not be obsessed with things like that.
Yep. You're totally right.
It's good.
Okay. I want to ask you, where would you like to be and where do you see yourself in 5 years? 2027.
Wow, that's a long time from now.
I know. And even it seems so far away, but it's so short as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I realized that one of my biggest dreams, that's like a huge kind of reach goal for me, would be something that integrates both acting sort of and streaming together. I would love to work in esports and like be like a presenter of sorts and host events and things like that. And just kind of be a public speaker sort of in that way, host events at conventions and host online things. I think that would be really, really, really cool. And then say streaming on the side.
And you say you're an introvert. You say you're an introvert.
Well, I'm an introvert in terms of like, I'm an extrovert introvert. I love being in front of people. Yeah. I really do. But I need a lot of alone time. And I'm not good at keeping up with a lot of friends, because if you are my friend, like if we are close, like I will give you everything, Mm-hmm. And I can only afford to give that to like a handful of people.
Yep.
So at a time, I only ever have like 3 really close friends, but I'm really, really, really close to them. And I like love them with everything that I have. But I just can't afford to be somebody who's like keeping up with everybody and, always talking. I just need a lot of quiet time. Yeah. But when I do talk to people and when I do socialize and when I do like perform and like host and things like that, I do give it my all. So I just need a lot of recharge time. That's not saying that I don't like people and I don't like being around them. I love it. I just
you're totally
need a lot of time to reset. Yeah.
I love being the Sae Bae cast host, but I'm also extremely introverted. But yeah, I can't even say I'm introverted because I've seen real introverts and I'm like, I'm pretty extroverted, I guess, occasionally.
Well, I think I heard that introversion and extroversion is like just the way you gain your energy. So like extroverts will gain their energy from being around people and introverts will gain their energy from being by themselves.
So who the fuck is an extrovert then? Like I feel like everybody gets their
Well, you think that because you play RuneScape. But like
I
went to theater school. I went to theater school, so I know some real extroverts. Like some of my old roommates like constantly would be on the phone or constantly like in the living room wanting to hang out or, always like talking to their mom or always, wanting to go out every night. Like those people really get their energy from being with other people and they get depressed if they're alone for too long.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense actually.
Yeah.
I do not hang out with extroverts.
I don't think a lot of us do. I think that's why a lot of us play video games, is because we need our alone time.
Extroverts have to be like a small percentage of the population, right?
Well, yes and no. Like, do you ever like go to the grocery store and you see somebody that's like just yapping away on their phone while they're like getting their groceries? Those people are probably extroverts.
You're right.
I think it's just the people that need to be like constantly stimulated and constantly doing something.
I think people on the internet all the time are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Internet people are probably not that type of person.
Yeah, and I hang out with a lot of internet people. You're right.
Yep. You're in a bubble. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really strange when you start seeing. I think I notice it when I watch documentaries. Actually, like I'll watch a documentary and I'll just see people, just floods of people just outside doing something, and I'm like, people actually like go outside and like do things. Like I forgot. It's crazy, huh? I kind of forgot that like there actually still is a real world, because when you spend so much time online, you think like the world's evolved into all online, but it's like, no, not quite yet. Not yet.
I know, especially after the pandemic too. It's like we've lived in it for so long. There was a time where we really couldn't go outside.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. Well, it is that time to ask for 3 shout outs from anybody in the community and why.
All right, perfect. All right. The first shout out, I mean, we talked about him a lot, but I'm gonna have to give it to Qneeks. Qneeks was like, I think he was the first person that I'm still friends with that I met on Twitch. I found him like in one of my first like weeks of being on Twitch just because I was like scrolling on the sidebar and he was right under NASA in the recommended streams. And I was like, this guy looks kind of cute and funny. So I went and talked to him and yeah. And I knew absolutely nothing about Twitch at the time. Like I was completely clueless. He told me to download, he like came into my stream and he was being super nice and he told me to download Better TTV. And I was like, I'm not clicking on that link. Like that looks scary.
Yep.
Like I'm not gonna trust that. So
Nice try,
like,
hacker.
yeah, nice try, idiot. I'm not falling for that one. So I just like didn't have emotes for a really long time on my channel. But then we did a stream one day on his channel where oh no, I think it was on mine actually, where he came into voice with me and we went on Better TTV and he just like explained all the emotes to me and helped me add all the ones that were necessary.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was a really good time. So I mean, he and I both help each other a lot. I think we've been like growing kind of at a similar rate. So we've been like really kind of like holding hands every step of the way and helping each other as much as we can. And it's just been really nice to like, it feels like I'm like growing up alongside somebody. And I love Qneeks with everything. He's an amazing streamer and I love watching him, and yeah, I just shout out to Qneeks. He's the best.
Yeah, he is. Can I just add one thing about Nick? I
Please.
did a Raid Shadow Legends stream. I shouldn't even say that the game without being paid, but no, I did a little Raid Shadow Legends stream like a year and some months ago. And you know what Nick did? He came in and just hyped everybody up for it and was the first download and the first like playthrough tutorial thing. And I'm like, you did not need to do that. And yet you come into my stream, hype it up about the whole sponsorship, do your part. It wasn't even his part. He did not need to do that. And he did it. And I'm like, you're a fucking legend.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's really, really great like that. That doesn't surprise me at all. Makes a ton of sense for him.
Yeah, that's just Nick. Awesome
Yep,
guy.
That's just who he is. Yeah, he's one of the best chatters ever. I learned to be a good chatter through Qneeks, so shout out. I think I'm a pretty good chatter now, and I attribute most of that to him. So, number two, I'm gonna throw it out to Lopsy. Lopsy is also somebody that inspires me a lot in streaming. If you don't know Lopsy, then you might not know some of the most iconic streams that have ever been streamed on Twitch.television, including but not limited to the one stream where he like taped his webcam to his hat and streamed his screen just through the webcam. One of the best streams I've ever seen. Another stream where he taped his webcam to his subwoofer and
Jesus Christ.
just like some of the most scuff shit you've ever seen in your entire life. But he is just the perfect example of like controlled chaos. And as I said before, like I'm a really, organized person. I like things to be a certain way. And seeing his streams go so well when he's just like being a complete fucking idiot is so inspiring to watch. Like he's so funny. He just says whatever he wants. And he is like a perfect reminder of just be yourself and do something crazy and people will like it,
I'm going to interrupt once again and say,
Please.
By the way, for those listening, Lopsy has been on the Sae Bae cast twice.
Yes.
He had his own episode
Icon.
and then with Secon and Lopsy. And yeah, he's just a fucking awesome person.
Yeah. He's also pushing for partner, so leave a tab, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, his streams are great and he's just a wonderful person. And the last one, I'm gonna give it to formerly Mick Dilk, now Mick Homie. Mick is so fucking great. He hosts the clan in game called the Homies, and he is one of the best examples of like fostering a really, really, really tight and incredible community. Like everybody in the Homies is so fucking close and like so kind to each other, and they just have developed like such a sense of humor and like an emote culture that I think is like honestly unparalleled. And he's just a wonderful person. He's been like hosting a bunch of community events. Like he hosted the crab game a while ago, and I think he's going to be hosting some other stuff in the future. And I just feel like he really is making an effort to bring the community together in a really, really genuine way. And I also feel like he is admirable in that he he does what he wants to do on stream. Like he's also been pushing for partner, and he's been doing variety streams even though he knows it doesn't get him, as high of numbers, which is just like the way that the RuneScape category goes. But he's like, this is the way I want my stream to be. So if it takes longer for me to get there because I want to show people what I truly want my stream to become, then that's fine. And you don't see that a lot. You see a lot of people get close to the partner numbers and they'll stop doing their normal content. They'll stay with what they know is comfortable and safe. And he doesn't do that. He takes risks because he knows it's what he wants in the long term. And I really fucking admire that. He's just a wonderful person.
Yeah, Mick is awesome.
Yeah, love Mick.
Great 3 shout outs.
Yeah, love him.
Okay. Zoe, it was not the 6-hour cast we had planned on, but it was almost 4 hours. And I think that's very respectable.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah. But I gotta say, guys, go check out Zoe's stream and YouTube and Twitter down in the description. Do it for me, at least. She's a fantastic streamer, as you guys can probably just tell by this podcast. She's just an amazing entertainer, just an awesome person. So go show her some love down in the links below. And next week, I'll just announce it once again. You guys already know, but episode 73, we'll be having Bodhi on the Sae Bae cast.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's going to, it's honestly amazing. And I'm really,
so cool.
I'm honored for the opportunity to be able to speak to the OSRS Twitch GOAT. I mean, just content creator GOAT of the OSRS category. I mean, it's just insane privilege for me. So I'm really looking forward to it. So be sure to tune in for there. If you guys would like to support the Sae Bae cast for $2 a month, there's a pledge, or as a pledge, there's a Patreon link down in the description. You can support the cast, get your name on the title screen. And when we hit 50 patrons, as I've stated before, we will get timestamps on every future episode. And I will make that a part of the routine of the Sae Bae cast to make sure there's timestamps. So thank you guys for listening. Zoe, any last words?
That's all. Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And also, I hope that we were talking earlier about how, the Sae Bae cast might still feel like a small thing to you, but I hope that you realize that I'm a huge fan and you have Bodhi on the next episode. This is a really good podcast. You've done something really wonderful for the community.
Thank you very much. And it was my pleasure to have you on. It was a great conversation. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ciao.